What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 168 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. And tonight, we are watching, the very divisive Halloween Ends. We hope you watch along with us. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween Ends. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you pissed? Are you upset? Are you angry with me? Fucking unreal. Tonight we are watching it. We hope you watch along with us. Of course, if you're in the United States, you can watch along with us on Peacock. It is on Peacock, or as I like to refer to it, cockpea. I don't even know what that is. Tony, my man. Now this is how this is going to go. So I have been leaning heavily into the coverage of Halloween Ends on this channel. I did the immediate out of the theater kind of response from my car with Bruce. And then the next day I did this epic live stream and we went for like 2.5 hours. And then the next day after that, I gave sort of what I would have done with the Halloween End story. And then I gave sort of some final thoughts on how I'm feeling. And then I uploaded a video. It's kind of like a video. I've been drinking. No, I uploaded a video talking about my 5 likes and my 5 dislikes. And so I've been like leaning heavily into it. So you guys know how I feel. You know how I feel. But the real question is, what does Tony Michael think? How does Tony Michael feel? Well, I'm going to give the floor to Tony Michael here, and I'm going to let him give you his thoughts on on Halloween Ends, and then we'll get to the movie shortly after that. Tony Michael, the floor is yours.
Well, I know how much you love symbolisms and everything with movies, and I totally respect that. So for tonight and tonight only, I'm going to give you a little theatrics.
Okay. Oh, he's got the gloves on.
The gloves are coming off.
All right. Okay? The gloves are coming off. I love it. The gloves are off.
Fuck you, David Gordon Green. Fuck you, Danny McBride. Fuck you, Jamie Lee Curtis. And fuck you, anybody who made this dog piece of shit of a fucking movie.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So for all of you out there that feel that I wasn't being hard enough on the movie, well, there you go. There's Tony Michael right there for you. Fuck yeah.
Listen,
right,
I'm gonna put it simple, okay? A few years ago, Motley Crue was doing their final farewell tour, right? But that at the time they were making it as, this is it, we're done.
Yes,
we're done touring and all that stuff. And on that tour, they were touring with Alice Cooper. I didn't drop $200, okay, to see Alice Cooper perform for 2 hours and Motley Crue perform for 30 fucking minutes. I'm going to see Alice Cooper for 30 minutes and Motley fucking Crue for 2 hours. All right. And when Motley hits the stage, keep it simple, boys. Play the hits. I don't need new songs. This is the farewell. We've been jamming to you guys. Well, I've been jamming to you guys for 30 years. Some people longer because some people are older. That's all I wanted. If I'm going to see a Michael Myers movie and it's his finale, it's his swan song, this is it, adios. And you are committing for the first time that I can recall, and anyone correct me on this, well, H2O, but we know what happened with that, where we are definitively going to see him meet his demise, then I want 90 fucking minutes, every other shot, Michael Myers. I want the greatest hits. When I say the greatest hits, I'm not saying recreate scenes from the previous films. I'm saying give me Michael's characteristics, his personality. He's there 1 minute, he's gone the next minute. He's creeping on this person, he's getting closer to that person. Everything that we've come to love about this fucking character. Because let me tell you something, Blumhouse, the face of this franchise, the reason why we fans buy t-shirts, the reason why we buy merch, masks, the reason why we buy the movies, the reason why we buy the music is not because of Laurie fucking Strode. It's not because of Dr. fucking Loomis. It's not Loomis. It's not because of Jamie Lloyd, Rachel. Those are fucking sprinkles to the sundae. Michael is the sundae. Loomis may be the cherry, or Laurie, depends on where you're looking at it. But he's the sundae. He's the face. Okay? And if this is his finale and this is his swan song, I don't need a Twilight love fucking story in a Halloween fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? I liked the idea of Corey. I thought it was cool. I thought, hey, you know, if they actually did a proper bookend to the trilogy and this was the stepping stone to an anthology run, this is a pretty cool idea. But when it's Michael's farewell and this is it, and you're going to kill this character off, I want him for 90 fucking minutes. I want everything, you know, and I know, like, I understand some people might be like, well, we've seen it. Yes, we've seen it, but we haven't seen it in a movie where they're committing to kill the character. You know what I mean? And if you're committing to kill the character off and it's done, then I want all the greatest hits when it comes to Michael. We got a little bit with it with one of the two kills in this movie, because I don't give him Corey's kill because that's between Corey, Laurie, and Michael. You know what I mean? So I can't give him that. I mean, think about that. Just even saying that he got outperformed by kills by another character in his own fucking movie.
He did.
And he did. And that's like, wait a second here. What the fuck? Let alone how they emasculated the character. He gets manhandled like a fucking chump.
He was hulking up like Hogan and Andre the Giant.
You know what I mean? Twice he gets manhandled. This is not how I want to see this character fucking portrayed in a Halloween movie. If Michael's going down, then he's going down with fucking guns blazing. I can accept the character being killed. I have zero problem with that. Okay. And I understand, you know, and I'm sure you loved it. And I immediately thought of you in that moment when she pins him on the counter. I'm like, oh, crucifixion, symbolism. You know what I mean? I got that, but it was the position of his crucifixion, which is actually, I think is a Wicca thing. I could be wrong on that. But because how his hands were one up, one down, it's not the Christianity crucifixion.
Right.
I think there is something with the way I have to look into that, but I'm almost for certain there is a symbolism to the way Laurie does pin him on the counter like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. Look, if I'm going to point out some good things about this movie, and it's very, very little. First of all, what pissed me off even more so, and it's an insult to my intelligence, the font of Season of the Witch is a slap in the face to Season of the fucking Witch. This is not anything like, you know, I was talking to my buddy about that online the other day when he was bringing that comparison up. And I'm like, Season of the Witch is a standalone Halloween movie. It's not trying to be the third act to Halloween 1 and 2. It stands on itself.
Correct.
You know, it's not complete. At that point in 83, when that movie was made, Michael was done. He's done. Or 2. Yeah. He's finished. He's done. He burned in the fire. This was totally separate. This movie here is the third fucking act. It's like thinking of Return of the Jedi and Luke and Vader are in that shit for like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, no, I want to see the buildup that's going to lead to the dramatic fight between the two of them in the Emperor's chamber. And that's what Return of the Jedi does. This is the same thing. If this is the fun, I do like Laurie's portrayal. I will say this. Laurie's return to who I felt the character of Laurie Strode. This is probably the best version of it that I've seen since Halloween 2.
I agree.
I mean, Halloween 2 is not fair because she's in the hospital most of the time.
No, but since
Halloween,
since 78,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a great fucking return, and she's even sidelined in the fucking film, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm the dude always bitching and complaining about this character, and here I am, like, I'm digging it, I'm liking it. Laurie fucking Strode is back. Why am I not getting more of her? What the fuck's going on here?
Agreed. I love that scene with her and Hawkins in the grocery store when she starts twirling her hair, you know, and I'm like, there's the girl I haven't seen in like 40. There she is.
But see, it's those little fucking things that they could have been doing with her character, Michael's character, this whole build up to them finally confronting whether it's in the house, whatever it is. And come on, everyone. Like, I see people sharing on YouTube the epic fight. What fucking epic fight?
Oh, it wasn't an epic fight. Wasn't an epic fight.
In Mike Tyson's prime, people lasted longer. And okay, that's saying a lot too than what we got between fucking Laurie and Michael.
In the video, no, there wasn't. In the video that I posted today about my my 5 likes and my 5 dislikes, I put that battle in my 5 likes, but not because I thought it was, amazing, but it's because it was essentially the first time it actually feels anything like Halloween, and it's like, here we are. This is kind of the main event. And I thought, the choreography and the intensity, but it didn't last very long. I mean, it should have gone all over the house. Maybe she runs out into the street. I mean, you're building this fucking thing up. Deliver. This is what we paid for. Deliver.
Exactly.
Could not agree more. I mean, what there was good. There just wasn't enough of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't know. I understand risks. I'm not saying that, but you don't take the risk in the third act of a final film. You don't. You conclude the story, especially again, if you are committing to the fact that you are going to kill this character once and for all. The reason why there's a franchise to begin with is because of Michael Myers. You don't have him, there's no fucking franchise. Mm-hmm. And to just treat him like dog shit. I mean, treat him like, to a point where hand to God, I paused the movie about almost an hour in because I was so mad realizing he still hasn't shown up yet, and I knew where this was going. I purchased Resurrection. Man of my word. I said I would, and I did. I purchased fucking Halloween Resurrection because of this dog shit movie. Yeah. That's what you did to me, David Gordon Green. You have ruined my life forever because now I own a copy of that shit. And I'm not saying Resurrection is better, but if I had to choose between watching Resurrection and watching this, right, I would watch Resurrection over this for the simple fact Michael's in the fucking movie. Yeah. It's dog shit, but he's there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Resurrection is the better film in the sense of, like, you know what I mean? Yep. It's just Michael's there. He's Michael.
I get it.
I'm not going to sit there and watch Michael belittled.
Watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He's there.
Exactly. I will take trippy, acid trip, Halloween 2, and hobo Michael Myers and Rob Zombie's film over this fucking garbage to watch anyways. Yeah. I don't get, like, and not only that, I did a quick, and I'm being generous here, as far as the time. I went through and I didn't watch it again. I've only watched it once. I did a scrub. Mm-hmm. He's in the film for 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And I'm being generous because the additional time I gave him before he meets his demise, okay, and he's dead. The additional, like, seconds time I gave him is when he grabs Laurie by the neck when he's pinned down because he's still doing his thing. If I take that out, he's in the film for 8 minutes and 25 seconds. That's it. Right. And of that 8 minutes and 25 seconds, 4 of it is in the final moments. Right. You know, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Like,
and at least 30 seconds of it is strapped to the hood of a car like Aunt Edna on Vacation. Or sorry, the roof of the car. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I mean,
speaking of Vacation, no.
I understood the symbolism of the funeral procession, but where the fuck was Lindsay?
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, yeah, well, I thought the procession was. Hell? I'm mixed on it. I put it in my dislikes, but I'm sort of mixed on it. There was just some things about it that I kind of have to warm up to, I think. Look, I agree with everything you've said, and I've been accused of not doing what you just did. Ranting and raving and screaming and yelling. But that's not.
I've been holding it in for days, man.
Oh, I bet you have.
I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do this on Facebook, but I'm like, no, just wait for the stream.
That's why I wanted to let you go on it, right? But I want people to understand that for me, and I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, if I'm not screaming and yelling and saying dog shit, that doesn't mean that I'm saying it's a good movie. I am very perplexed and confused and disappointed. So I've decided to talk about it from a very specific perspective and talk about this and that and all that and sort of what's wrong with it, rather than just going off on on a thing. I could do that, you know, but I wanted to really kind of tackle the specifics of why I think it failed, not just give my frustration that it did fail ultimately. And I agree with everything that Tony has said. I mean, the crux of this problem, and if you've followed me and you've watched my videos over the weekend, you know I'm going to say it, but it bears repeating. The crux of this problem here is this is not a Halloween movie. It's not a Halloween story. And spare me, if you're somebody that's watching, or there was somebody sent me and I don't want to come down on her because I don't know her, but somebody sent me I'm not on TikTok, but I think it was a TikTok video about this young girl who was, you know, explaining what the whole thing was about and how each movie is a masterpiece or something like that. And there's a lot of what she said that I actually agreed with. But that's not the point overall. And now, again, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, this individual sent it to me to kind of, you know, say, in a way to say that, this is why they did this. Listen, I know why they did this. I know why they did this. I know why they made the decisions they made. And Michael Myers being handled the way he was in this movie makes perfect sense for the story they were telling. But that doesn't mean that I agree with it, because I do not believe for 1 second, and I've said this, I do not believe for 1 second that this was the only story direction you could go with or go in order to deliver on the social commentary and the themes and the messages of the story you're telling. Bullshit. Not at all. Yep. I don't mean you have to sacrifice it all together and just deliver a run-of-the-mill paint-by-numbers slasher that we've seen 433,000 times. It's fine if you want to add a little bit of something in there. But at the end of the day, this is a fucking Halloween movie. And there are certain things that audiences expect, and the marketing completely misled everybody, 100%. 100%. Now listen, it's not unprecedented.
Dude, I thought the kid was supposed to be like obsessed with Michael and he was going to be a copycat killer. No way did I think we were going to spend 90% of the movie on this kid.
And you're not the only one. You're
like, boy, what?
You're not the only one. And look, it's not unprecedented. It happens often for trailers or promos to somewhat mislead their audience by fancy editing, sure. But this was the foundation of this promotion, of the promotional material was selling the main event. And there was no main event. It was a romantic drama
there wasn't
thriller.
Even a showdown between Corey and, I mean, talk about a waste of a character. There wasn't even a showdown with Corey and Laurie. He opens the door, gets blasted, and he's done.
Well, and there's much that was in the trailer that wasn't even in the final product, which
so I'm like,
happens, but a lot in this.
So then I'll play devil's advocate to those who are not agreeing with my opinion. That's fine, and you're entitled to not agree to my opinion, and I get it. But you build this character up for the whole fucking film, only for him to go out like that. Like, you're not leaving any room for this character to continue on.
No, dude, and that's my point, right?
What?
When I watched it for the second time, and full transparency, I don't hate the movie, but I don't like the movie. You know, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's frustrating because, you know, I said to you before we went live, you know, it's not a bad movie until Myers shows up. I mean, it's kind of ironic, you know, that when Myers makes his appearance, it's kind of like, I get out of here. I want to go back to this, because it was interesting as an anthology piece, as a what if. It's almost like, as I said on my channel, it's like the story you would tell after the trilogy is done.
Yes,
maybe in some sort of fourth installment or anthology piece where we go back to Haddonfield. It's Laurie and Allison there and there again. Because remember, anthology pieces don't just have to, you know, there's two ways you can do an anthology piece. You can have an anthology film like Halloween 3, which is not connected to the larger universe at all, or you can have an anthology piece that is connected, right? There's Halloween 3 and there's something like Rogue One, both anthology films. So why don't you take this story, take it out, put it over here, and tell that story. And then somebody might say, oh, but this is a movie about the evil, and the transfer and I get all that. But you can still deliver the message without Michael, because then it becomes about an all-American kid who had this tragic accident, this tragic accident that happened to him, and his college, he had such a bright future, but now his descent into madness, and the town is making fun of him. The town, the bullying, the paranoia, and Laurie is in it, and she recognizes something in him, and he keeps going down and down. And it is that descent. It is that descent into madness. Fucking bring the scarecrow mask in there, right? And he goes on. Tell that story. I actually was invested in that. I was like, well, this is interesting. But it's not a Halloween. It's not a Michael Myers Halloween story. And it's not the fucking story you should be telling in the third act in your trilogy. And then, like I said, somebody would say, well, no, you just don't get it. It's about, no, I get it. I just don't agree with it, because I know there are other ways you could have delivered a successful, satisfying Halloween Michael Myers conclusion to this trilogy with all the social commentary that you have in there, and still deliver the messages that you want to deliver. You didn't have to tell this story. You didn't have to tell this story. And it's frustrating because I actually like that story. So I'm watching this and I'm like, well,
that's what I was. I was telling that.
It's just frustrating.
The only night that I've watched this other than tonight here that we're about to do. Sweet Tea.
Yeah, by the way, the movie hasn't started yet, folks. We will get to it in a few minutes.
Yes, Sweet Tea and I actually watched it at the same time. Sweet Tea, for those who don't know, watches the show with Dave and I.
Yeah. And
she follows me on Facebook, and we watched it both. We're timing about the same time, and we talked with each other on Facebook afterwards about it. And I was just like, and I agree with your sentiment with what you're saying. I said, if they had used this as a stepping stone and said to Jamie Lee Curtis and Andy Machik, whatever how she pronounces her last name, and even you bring Lindsay back and you bring Hawkins back, say, listen, guys, this is now that they had properly concluded the trilogy, right? We need you back because we want to start an anthology run, but we're going to kind of use some familiar faces so that it at least gets people in the theater to see it out of curiosity, because, Laurie's a familiar face.
You can have those characters in anthology.
Exactly. Movies. That we're only going to use you once. It's a one and done thing, and we're going to let the fan base know that. Like, don't get excited. Like, we're not about to do 9 movies with Jamie Lee Curtis. This is a one and done deal to get us in the direction of going into anthology films. Take Michael out of this whole equation. I mean, if you want to reference him, that's fine.
Well,
I don't care.
Because it's still in Haddonfield.
Correct.
So they're going to make those parallels.
Is not in it at all.
Not at all.
Then abso-fucking-lutely, this is a good fucking film. But when you're telling me this is the third act, the final time we're going to see Michael Myers on screen as we know it, fuck you. No fucking way. This movie's dog shit.
Yeah.
Look, and there's people who follow me and, they've commented on my Facebook, and and I give that breathing room that if you like it, I'm not going to hate on you. I'm not going to be like, what the fuck, dude?
No. You should see the hate I've gotten. You should see you don't hate it like I do. I hate it, and you're not hating it like me. So I don't like you. Well, then don't fucking like me then. I couldn't give a frog's fat ass what the fuck you think. Like, I really don't care.
I've got good folks following me where it's give and take. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell me they like it for X, Y, Z reason. And like for today, I was, kind of quick bantering with one of our listeners. And I said to him, hey, if the silver lining in this is I didn't have to pay a dime for this movie other than my $1.99 subscription to Peacock, then I really did. At the end of the day, what did I lose, right? I'm not going to buy this movie. I'm not buying the digital copy. I'm not buying a DVD. Like, after tonight,
I'm going to buy it and burn it. No. Well, maybe.
Unless you, for whatever fucking reason, decide you want to do a rewatch, and I'm like, no.
Well, maybe.
I'm like, no. Okay.
200th episode.
No. Right? For whatever fucking reason you want to do I'm never going to watch this movie again. I have zero.
And isn't that so disappointing? Isn't that disappointing? And again, I want to reiterate to people that and the only reason why I'm saying this is because this has been a strange. I've never seen the Halloween fan base so what is it? So angry at each other, right? Like I think the anger is misguided. Direct your anger at the people that made the movie or the people that made the creative decisions. Don't direct your anger. I mean, Just because I chose to upload videos where I'm talking calmly and trying to be articulate with my thoughts doesn't mean that I love the movie, folks. For all you out there that think that I didn't do a good enough job or drop as, F-bombs in the way that you think I should have. I don't like the movie, but it's frustrating because I don't hate it, because there's aspects about it that I think are really interesting. And that's frustrating, man. It's very disappointing. It's really disappointing that this is the movie the story they decided to go with. And then, I hear them say things like, we wanted each installment to feel, different. Did you? Did you want that? Or, because let's not forget, the third installment was originally supposed to take place in the same night. So I don't imagine that would have felt very...
This was not the original plan.
No. And look, it's art. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But at the end of the day, when you're making the third installment in a trilogy, it is the third act to your story. You need to have some sort of canonical connective tissue to the previous two movies. You can't have it feeling like a stand, and they know this. David Gordon Green knows this. He has said as much in interviews that they knew it was going to be risky and all that kind of stuff, and they know that this is going to get people riled up. They may even be watching us now. They know. Doubtful. They know. No, I'm being facetious, but they know. They know that it was going to do this right from the Halloween 3 opening credits, right to that. They knew what they were doing.
What's sad? What's even sadder is that the final time, because he deserves so much fucking better than what he got and what he was told to do.
James Jude Courtney
got so fucking screwed in this fucking movie. This is not the way he should be going out with this fucking character. If there is a bright spot to this run that we've just completed, it's James Jude Courtney for 100%. What he did in 18 and what he did in Kills. And that motherfucker deserved way better than what he was.
100%.
Oh my,
100%. Yeah. I just am so perplexed. And it's like I said, I don't hate that story. I want to see that story, but not in this movie. Not in this movie. And it's just so disappointing, that they decided to go this direction with it and end one of the greatest horror icons in the history of motion pictures like this. This is how you want to go out, because quite frankly, even Laurie Strode was sidelined. I mean, she was in it more than Michael, but I mean, it wasn't her movie either. It was Corey's story. Why? What, like when you're in the writer's room, I would have been like, if everybody was like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. I would have been like, why? Why are we doing this now? Why do you want to tell this story now? I do not believe you. I do not believe you at all that from the very beginning, when you made the very first installment, that you thought, if we turn this into a trilogy, I want each installment to feel different. Because generally speaking, that's not what trilogies do if you are following the same story over 3 films, where even the 3 movies are first and second and third act. Now, you can have trilogies that are separate individual stories like Indiana Jones, and within those movies, they have first and second and third acts. Or you can have trilogies that follow one long story. And in those separate films, they also have first and second and third acts, but the films themselves act as first and second and third acts. And when that's what you're doing, which is what this is, following one long story, when you get to the third act, it feels nothing like it doesn't feel like it's connected to the previous 2 movies. And it should. It's not a Halloween movie. It's not a Halloween movie. It's a standalone anthology film in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The other thing too is if their argument and those who like the movie, and again, you're totally, like I said, for those who follow me on Facebook with, and it's been a give and take, no hating, very respectful. If they like the movie, I'm not hating on them and vice versa, which is the way it should be, because I'm not going to change my opinion.
No. Yeah,
film. But I don't want you to change your opinion either. If you love the movie, then
love it.
Love the movie. Absolutely own it. If the argument is, well, they humanized him again, and I'm okay, fine, we're doing that, but he sure as shit didn't look humanized when he got up and took out 20 people in the mob and kills Karen at the end of Kills. He seemed pretty strong. You know what I mean? He didn't seem like he was, losing any strength. But if that's your argument, the fact is, no human would have survived 4 years in the sewers without proper medical treatment. He would have died probably from his infection within year 1.
Sure. And I agree. Look, I cannot.
He wouldn't have survived 4 years. There's no way.
Fair,
not in that condition.
Fair. And I can look, James Jude Courtney.
If we're humanizing him, that
right,
to be clear.
Right. James Jude Courtney, obviously I've never met the man. I've never talked to him, but he seems like such a sweetheart of a guy. He is always so professional in everything that I've seen him in. So obviously I don't know for sure. I've seen him at the premiere. I saw him at the premiere doing the interviews. He's saying all the right things. And maybe he really believes what he's saying. Maybe, this is great.
I don't buy it.
I'm just saying, who knows, right? Who knows? But I have a difficult time believing that he does, because when you are playing that kind of character and, you get a script for the 3rd installment and your character is, pushed off to the side as a barely a cameo in your own movie, I'd feel very pissed off, especially knowing that maybe the other idea they had was a lot better. I don't know if the original idea for the 3rd installment ever made it to a screenplay or if it was just an idea or a treatment. I'm not sure, but I would love to know what that idea was. I would love to know. Sure. And maybe look. And I will say this to all of you out there that love, that it's not just a regular slash. Yeah, I agree. I'm not sitting here saying that I think Halloween Ends should have been just another run-of-the-mill slasher. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm fine with elevating it a little bit and making it more of a character-driven piece rather than a plot-driven piece. I'm okay with that. But when you do this story, alienating your own fucking trilogy, it's borderline incompetence to me. Borderline incompetence. I don't understand why you would tell this story. Does it work? Yes, it works. It absolutely works. It makes sense, right? When we look at the story, you follow the narrative, it makes sense. It's there. They've connected some dots, although not all dots, because there's a lot of things left over from the previous 2 movies that they didn't resolve. But in terms of, does it make sense? Beginning, a middle, and an end, and I understand why Myers is weak, and I get why Corey, and there's the transfer of the S. Like, I get all of it. It makes sense, but why are we doing this? That's the question.
I don't get
why
it because
this? Why this?
I don't get it because David Gordon Green made it very clear. You can look it up. It's about 6 years ago when they pre-production into Halloween 2018. He made it very crystal clear about his feelings regarding anything after Halloween 4. Okay. So if you don't like what they did with the whole connection thing that Jamie had with her uncle, you just did it.
Yeah.
You just did it in this. You did exactly what, and for those who hate on Halloween 5 and are loving this movie, it's literally the exact same shit. Corey and Michael had a connection. Yeah. Christine, right?
Yeah.
Jamie and Michael had that. She had that connection to her uncle, and you shit on that film, right? Now I don't want to hear anybody talk shit about Halloween 5 if you're praising if you're praising this fucking movie because it's literally the same shit. And David Gordon Green said that. He's like, we didn't like this. We want to bring it back to the basics. And we're all excited
and they did,
for it.
And they did
and
do
then
that.
They fucking do the same shit.
And I think the fear.
Well, it's what you always say. It's what you have said on this. When we've been doing this show for almost 4 years, and you have said it, and it's landed every single time.
Oh, he's about to give me a flex.
No, every time they progress onto something, it gets worse and worse and worse. It's no coincidence that the meme I shared on my Facebook, Halloween 4, great return, loved by fans. Halloween 5, what the fuck did I just watch? Halloween 6, I'm done with this franchise. Halloween 2018, great return, loved by fans. Halloween Kills, what the fuck did I just watch? Halloween Ends, I'm fucking out. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's literally every time with this franchise, the more they make, the shittier it gets.
It's something, and we got to get to the movie here, but it's something that I've said for a long time. If you followed me since 2017, when I first sprung onto the scene here talking Halloween, I have been very consistent. I have said, because that's when we found out that they were, erasing all of the sequels and all that kind of stuff. And I said, there's a when you go back to the original intent of Myers, he does have a shelf life. The foundation and the character of Myers has a shelf life. And that's the problem you run into when you make a bunch of sequels with that iteration of the character. And I said, the more sequels you make, it is inevitable that the weird and unusual is going to creep in. That's like a quote. It's buried somewhere in my videos. I have no idea, but I've said it many times over the years. And here it is. I didn't think we'd get to it this fast, but here we are. The weird and unusual have creeped in. And it's because they can't, it's not like Jason or Freddy where you can relatively do the same thing over again because we know their backstories, we know what they're about.
Sure.
We know. With Michael, it's harder because how do you keep making these movies without it without it seeming sort of monotonous and repetitive, although all of the Friday films do as well, but without ruining the mystique, because Michael is built around mystique, the enigma, the mystery. How do you keep that going? Now they knew that, and that's why they said, okay, well, we have to end it at 3. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. You want to be done, a trilogy. That's cool. I get that. That's a smart move. We can't go on and on and on and on and on, or it's going to get really crazy. So we're going to do a trilogy. Okay, great. But again, I keep sounding like a broken record. Why this story? It's not the only story you could have told that would have delivered on all the things you wanted to deliver on, minus the Corey thing. But I mean, the vessel. Corey is the vehicle. Corey is the vessel. He's the catalyst that helps drive the message home of evil doesn't die, it just changes shape. And about the town and evil and how we treat each other and all that kind of stuff. That's great. But you don't need Corey to deliver that message. And ironically, if you want to use that message with Corey, you don't need Myers to deliver that message. Make that a Corey film then, right? Why are we combining these two movies? Why are we doing this? This should have been a movie that's not just run-of-the-mill. It's the 3rd chapter in your trilogy, so it's got to feel different, but it's got to feel connected canonically to the 2 previous movies and not so alienated. It's got to feel like it's in the same universe and not a standalone. And it's got to be an epic conclusion to one of the greatest horror slashers in the history of motion pictures, and it failed. Yep. On that front, in our opinion, on that front. But if you love it and you think it was a satisfying conclusion for you, that's okay. That sincerely is okay. You're welcome here. You are welcome on this channel. You're welcome to talk about it. It's okay, but it didn't resonate with us for those reasons. And it has nothing to do with, I don't get it. It has nothing to do with that.
No, we totally get it, but it's like, this is not how you land the plane. Not like this, you know what I mean? Shit, Buddy Holly and Richie Valens had better odds of landing their plane than this shit, okay? and we know what happened there. So
there you go.
Like, fuck, man.
All right, let's get this going.
Let's get this done.
Okay, so that was an epic. Whew. Let's get this
30
going.
minutes. I said about 30 minutes.
Yeah, you did. All right, bad. So we are watching Halloween Ends on Peacock, and we are paused about 6 seconds into the movie. The Universal logo is just about to come onto the screen. That's where we are. So if you want to take a moment and get it set up for yourself, then totally get it.
Just give me a second here.
Get it set up. Let's do this. Oh yeah, let me just.
All right, I'm good now.
You're good?
I got everything set up. Yeah.
Okay. Boop, 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 boop.
I wish I was still smoking weed.
I wish I had you. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Halloween Ends. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yes.
Dude, can I tell you something?
Oh, hang on. Pause it. My thing's not.
What? Okay.
My thing's not going here.
Oh, are you getting that moving. Problem?
I don't know. Okay, now it's going.
All right, where are you at?
The Universal thing's coming over.
What? No, well, we should be at the same second.
19, 20, 21,
Pause
22.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22. Are we good? Are we even?
Yep, we're good.
23.
Yep, we're good.
24. Okay.
Here we are.
What I was starting to say is this just goes to show you how fucked up in the head I am. I gotta tell you, I will say there was a kill in this moment that I laughed my ass off, and because I thought it was hilarious the way he ricocheted off the floor was the kid. I fucking died laughing. And I kept hearing all like the reviews about how there's this just shocking moment, like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And I'm like, dude, that was the funniest shit ever. Because when he hits, he doesn't just hit. He's like, well,
he bounces.
Like,
yeah. No, he.
And the thing is right before it happened, right? I'm like, I hope he fucking kills this kid because the kid was acting obnoxious.
Yes.
And he kills him. And I just was laughing for like a good 5 minutes.
He bounces.
I'm fucked up. I know. I'm fucked.
Just to try and kill two birds with one stone because of time, while we're watching, it says Haddonfield, Illinois here. We're opening up, of course, Halloween night 2019. So let's see here. Super chat from Jordan Ellis sends in 1999, says, hey, D&T, when Michael kills...
likes the movie.
He does? Oh, great. I think that's great. Says, hey, D&T, when Michael kills the cop and his body starts pulsating, I felt it gives you a lot to think about what just happened exactly. Interesting piece of the mythology. It's all subjective and I like it, but to each their own. Yeah, I just felt a little too Hogan hulking up. Like, I don't need to see that. I don't need to see his process and what that does. Gabagoo sends in $2, says, did Sartain try to kill and put mask on like Corey? I don't think he was trying to kill. No, I think he just not exactly. He killed, or he tried to kill Hawkins, but he wanted to put the mask on to see what it felt like. But I guess there are similar themes around that. Gary sends in $5, says Danny McBride email was hacked and a locked encrypted file titled Halloween Begins 2025 was revealed. New movie? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Do I think there's going to be a new movie in 2025? I doubt it.
Or do you believe the story?
Yeah, but no, I don't believe that at all. Cody Snyder.
This franchise needs to rest for a while.
It does. It does.
For a while.
100%.
We need a break.
100%. Jeremy, there's Jeremy the kid. Fucking kid. He got what he deserved. Oh, what am I saying? I don't know. Cody Snyder sends in $10. He got
what he deserved. No, he did.
Says, Tony, would you rewatch Resurrection over this? I would. I think we already know that answer.
I would watch this. I would watch Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, just for the simple fact of that opening hospital sequence. I've said it many times. It is one of the best Halloween filmed sequence on camera. Unfortunately, the movie falls apart after that. I just wish he had just done the whole hospital for 90 minutes.
This scene here, like, again, when I'm in the theater and I'm watching this, I'm invested. I'm in, right? But like, imagine this. It has nothing to do with Michael Myers. Imagine this is just...
Sure, it's Halloween night.
It's the first episode in the Netflix series Haddonfield. Yep. Imagine that, right? And this is the first episode, and it's in the Michael Myers Haddonfield universe. It's the same universe, but Michael's dead because he died in the David Gordon Green trilogy. And this is the first episode, and we're meeting Corey Cunningham, and we meet Laurie Strode and Allison, Andy Matichak. She's in it. It's the same story. It's just instead of Michael passing his evil essence, it's the downfall from the bullying and the town and the paranoia that causes him to, put on the scarecrow mask and all that kind of stuff. It's more psychological rather than supernatural. Right. But I would be invested, like I am at this point. Here we see this all-American kid talking about wanting to go to college and stuff. He looks clean shaven, clean cut, good looking guy, very different from where he ends up. Right. So I'm like, what? Why just save it? Although I do think it's a nice little nod there to John Carpenter's The Thing. I got to say that.
Sure. I love that. I mean, look, yes, I shat on the movie for the last half hour, but if I want to bring out some positives,
you got to get your frustrations.
Like I said, I love what they did with Laurie. And I do like the Corey character. It's just not in the right fucking movie.
Right.
Right. I'm into the guy. I like him. I could see, him becoming something, in his own little thing and make two movies with him. Well, that's not going to happen now, but I mean,
and isn't that a shame?
Opportunity. It is a shame because they had an opportunity to be like, hey, we got something here. Let's not waste it. And they waste it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. It's unfortunate. And I think and again, it's art.
As soon as this kid said that, I'm like, oh, I hope this kid fucking dies. Yeah. I hate it. Like, I hope this kid fucking
He was being a brat. Oh, by the way, what? Corey Cunningham's a chocolate milk drinker. Oh, yeah. I'm a big...
That's right.
Yes.
Dave and his chocolate milk, man.
I can tell you, the other night, Bruce and I went out to dinner before we watched the movie at the theater because we were celebrating 30 years of friendship. Yeah, you would have. Well, I was just going to say, we went to this nice restaurant. Bruce had a beer and I ordered a chocolate milk. And then I go to the movie theater to watch the movie and I'm like, he's a chocolate milk guy. Of course, because chocolate milk fucking rules.
His chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk rules. I kind of feel
like
silly ordering it at a restaurant where I should be ordering beer,
dude,
but
I like a good hot chocolate in the winter. Like a good hot chocolate wintertime. I like that. Yeah.
And also, can I say too that this opening sequence here, because they're not using music, they're just using the environment of the elements. Again, I'm watching this in the theater. I watched it at home yesterday. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, like, I'm digging this opening scene. It's not so suspenseful that you can cut it with a knife, but there's an ominous sort of, just a little bit of some tension here, right? Like, why is the door open? Where did the kid go? What's going on? Now, obviously, we kind of know the end result because we read the synopsis, but if you didn't, you'd be thinking, this is interesting. Like there's a little bit of tension here, like this is all, it's all good. It's fine. Yep. It's fine. Like, again, imagine you're watching episode 1 of Haddonfield. It'd be
great. I'm into it. You got me hooked.
Exactly. I'm in. I'm in, dude. Malik, if you're watching, let's do it, buddy. I'm in. Well, we can't do it now with Corey, but
no, we can't.
Maybe we could do a Corey prequel. I don't know. No, we can't now. We can't. Or maybe we just tell a similar story.
And it's sad because he was a good character, just in the wrong fucking movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to see more of it. I wanted to see that character grow. I wanted to give that character another movie or two.
Yeah.
But okay, I will say this, and you may or may not disagree with me on this. When he does go full Michael and puts on the mask and he's in the jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I got goosebumps for the simple fact that even though I know it's Corey, for me personally, it's the first time it looked like this guy in the photo on my shirt. What I mean by that is Michael was never intended to be a big broody guy. He's always look at Nick standing next to his bush. He's tiny. You know what I mean? Michael's always had that small frame, average height, size. That's what Corey is. And when Corey was wearing the costume, I was like, damn, that's fucking Michael Myers. That's in the sense of like, that's the Michael Myers that I love. That's the Michael Myers that, the last time we've seen was Dick Warlock, in comparisons to like how, the physique and the height and everything.
Well, and I admit too that when he ran over those kids in the junkyard with the truck and took off, the music at that moment, I think it's like, boom, boom. Boom,
right,
boom.
yeah.
And I'm like,
kind of Christine like
yeah. And I'm like, I'm digging this. Like, why is Myers even in this movie? I'm digging. Yep. Why don't we just run with this? Like, it's almost like they had this really cool idea for an anthology, film.
It's kind of sad that Corey looked better as Michael Myers than Michael Myers himself when wearing the mask. You know what I mean?
It kind of feels like the pandemic caused these guys to think about a really cool idea, and then they're like, oh yeah, and we have to finish the trilogy. Why don't you that's when they needed somebody to say, hey, I love this idea, it's really cool, but let's put that over here, and let's save it for something else. Anyway, we're about to see
hold on, let me
Jeremy get his ass, I was going to say his ass kicked, but die here or whatever. He's gonna get hit.
It only gave me goosebumps in the sense that it's the first time I'm seeing what I envision Michael to be, but my mind knows it's not Michael.
Right.
That's the separation. So
I got you. Hey, let me out, you little shit! Let me out! The fuck, man! Let me out! Let me turn it up a little bit. Hang on. Oh!
I'm sorry,
Jeremy! Jeremy!
God, that's hilarious. He just bounces like a ball, dude. It's fucked. I'm sorry.
And here come the opening credits. Here it comes. But let me say, just give me a moment. Let me say, do you remember? Here it comes. What have you done? Halloween ends. Obviously, to know, yes, those of you that are saying, oh, this kind of looks like, it's blue. It's kind of got that Halloween 3 text. Yeah, you are correct. And by the way, do you remember, Tony, about 4 or 5 months ago, I made a video predicting this very thing on my channel. I made a video talking about fonts, and I got people saying, Dave's talking about font. They think it's a little bit of a stretch here, Dave. Fuck you, because I was right. I mean, I admit the video was kind of corny, but the fact that I said, hey, have you noticed that the Halloween font in 18 is the exact same font as 78, and the Halloween font in Kills is the exact same font in Halloween 2 from 81? I bet you the Halloween Ends font is going to be the exact same font in Halloween 3. And then I said, or maybe 4 or, whatever, because 3's not a Michael Myers movie. But nope. Oh, they did it. So that little fucking meme that's floating around like it's original right here, baby. I know it's a very weak flex. It's a very weak flex. But I got to say, I'm like, I got that. That was right. That's my happy moment for the day. Yay.
Just to conclude my thought on Corey wearing the Michael costume, Warlock's only 5'9", Castle's only 5'9", and the character who played Corey's only 5'9", so he's in. Oh,
he's in that ballpark.
Give him a little, give him about an inch thickness in his boots, and he's at Nick Castle's height.
For sure. So
that's what I liked about it.
I got to say too here, now we got directed by David Gordon Green. I wasn't a big fan of the opening title sequence with the pumpkins. I was not a big fan of it. I loved the opening title sequence for Kills and 18.
This is cool.
I love that.
Flashback to the original.
Yep, 100%. Could not agree more. This was really cool.
I was kind of hoping they might dig into archives and show some shit we haven't seen before.
Yeah, well, they still don't have
because they got them. They got them. They're out there.
It's not out there publicly. Malik won't allow it.
I know.
Yeah. But no, it's not. Again, seeing this is that connective tissue, right? It's just unfortunate that the only time that this movie feels connected to the films that have come before is when you do show little glimpses like this, because it reminds us, right? Whereas, the rest of the movie still needs to feel canonically connected. There are rules that you've established in the universe that we should still be, not just rules, but the whole sort of just kind of the universe. I should still feel like it's the same time. I mean,
I don't know.
We're not fast forwarding 40 years. It's only 4 years.
The woman get impaled with the light. They just showed. I don't know how she survived, but okay.
I wish Barker would. And then Barker shows up at the end like a stooge. The stooge he is.
With his one line, "Tonight we do," or whatever he says.
Yeah, tonight we do. And then he vanished.
But
you see, now you were talking about
wounds that should kill any mortal man within a year because he's mortal again, right?
Well, no, but okay, so we both really like how Laurie was utilized in this film.
Absolutely.
And I like this. If you were to tell the Corey story anthology, keep this Laurie shit. She's writing her memoirs. It's years later. I like this stuff. I like hearing her interior voice monologue, talking about what she's doing. I mean, some of the lines are a bit cheesy, but I get it. I like that. Like, I like that. This stuff here about how, people are committing suicides and people, all that's great.
Yep.
What the fuck is Myers doing in this movie?
No, look, and you know me, buddy. You know my feelings about the character Laurie Strode. But
I know
I like her. I like her in the first film. I mean, and I like her in the second film.
Yeah.
H2O. I like that portrayal. Not a big fan of the fucking Ripley from Aliens or fucking Sarah Connor Laurie Strode they did in 2018. But whatever. When this hit, and as I was watching it, I was like, that's Laurie fucking Strode, man. Return to form. But then she gets sidelined a lot, because we're going to get to Corey here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. She does. She does get sidelined.
Knitting, she's knitting again, you know what I mean? She's got the knitting,
now,
like those little
to
things.
Be fair,
I mean, fuck.
The name of her memoir, was it something, Boogeyman, something in Samhain?
I don't know. Something like that.
I don't know why they chose Samhain since Halloween 2 is not canon, but I guess that's just a little bit of whatever. Like, I don't know what connection that means, but like as of right now, I'm in the theater this very moment. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like I'm invested. I get it. I understand. I'm following. I'm intrigued. Like I've been saying for months on this channel that this movie was going to be more character driven than plot driven, and it was. To nobody's surprise, of course. I mean, that's not a rocket science, but I like little things like this, like let it inside. No, let evil inside. I like all that stuff's good. It's good stuff. That's what's so frustrating. I don't hate this movie, but I don't like this movie. It's like, God damn it. I will say though, don't you think Allison falls a little too quickly for Corey? Don't you think
Twilight.
Well, yeah, but don't you think she's a little forward? Like, I know Cameron's been dead for 4 years, and maybe she hasn't had sex in 4 years. I have no idea. So she's really horny. But I couldn't help but feel that
she became obsessive, man. And that, I don't know if you've seen Twilight, but that's pretty much what the girl and the dude in that movie. She became obsessed with the dude. And
I know, but that's a teeny bopper vampire film. It
that's
works
what they almost turned this into. They tread that line very lightly. It's like,
yeah, and I know it's
are we going to rom-com? Like, what the fuck?
I said on my video today, I said it's like going to Home Depot and helping somebody you find attractive and they thank you and you're like, yeah, no problem. Hey, I got 2 tickets to Spain. You want to come with me this afternoon? It's like, whoa, hey, whoa. What do we? I don't know. She just feels very forward, very aggressive in her. Oh, I really like him. I really like him.
And I definitely didn't get, like, I thought, the way they build Allison up in the first 2 movies is they made it seem like, and I'm wondering if in the original idea it was going to be that way, where the torch was going to be passed to her as the final girl, the new final girl or whatever. This, forget about that. That's all out there. She's nothing in this. You know what I mean?
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And again, look, imagine right now, we're at the point where Corey arrives at the junkyard. His dad is like, Corey, blah, blah, blah. Imagine right now we're watching that first episode of Haddonfield. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not that, Lonnie. But I'm in. I'm invested. First episode of Haddonfield. Cool. Invested. This is awesome. Malik, if you're watching, let's do it, buddy. Let's do it.
Let's get it done.
He won't do it with me, but
just leave Michael out.
He should. He should. Malik should give me a call. Malik, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's get it done. Let's bring this back.
If there's anything that I've learned from watching these movies, it's clear you don't need to be a genius to make. I'm just saying.
What are you saying there, Tony?
Clearly, you don't need to be a good writer or a genius to make a movie in Hollywood if this is what they're going to give you money to make. So
let me get some of these super chats here. Got that one. Andrew Stevens sends in $5. Says, here's a partial payment for your resurrection purchase, Tony. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thanks.
Logan DeCarey sends in $5. Says, I think it was like a bit of high tension mixed with Friday 5, and it wasn't the same old thing. Sorry it's stressing you out, Tony. Hey, that's okay, man. If you liked it.
I've heard the comparison to Friday 5, and here's what I would say.
I actually don't agree.
But I don't agree either, because look, Friday 5, as far as we knew, especially at that time, before, not having 30 years of knowing, but I'm saying at the time when it's originally released, Jason was dead in the final chapter. Even though Tommy's having those hallucinations throughout the movie, we don't know who the killer is until it's revealed at the end that it's Roy Burns. So, there wasn't a sense of like where Corey, he's going on this killing spree, like Roy did, because Roy was pissed off at what happened to his son.
Yeah.
It was totally different. You know what I mean? It's not the same.
No, I agree with that. I like this scene too, when he gets bullied and Laurie shows, again, imagine you're watching that first episode of Haddonfield. I know, the people are probably like, yeah, we get it. But it works so well if it was that. Mind you, I have had people say that they find it kind of funny that the marching band are bullies. Like, has anybody ever known a bully who was in a marching band?
I'm glad you picked up on that, because
well, no, I didn't pick up on that. I saw other people saying it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. Marching bands are not a really big thing up here in Canada, so it's more. I can understand why.
Where I'm from, like we had our school had a pretty good music department, one of the best in the States, and I gotta tell you though, ain't no marching band boy gonna come up to me and start some shit.
Well, that's what I mean.
Take that drumstick and shove it right up his fucking nose.
Corey is, these kids are supposed to be what, like 17, 16, 17. Corey's like 24 years old here. Yeah. Fucking punch this loser in the face. Now, I understand why he doesn't. Okay, yes, he's probably physically able to take them, but it's showing his more passive personality, right? He's not a fighter. He's not somebody that looks for confrontation. Even though, yes, technically he could probably beat the shit out of this guy in one swing, he's not that kind of guy. So he's handling it more like a man rather than an asshole. And so I get that. So and then you see him sort of beat up Michael, which is just dreadful.
And I just noticed something here in this scene as they're filming. me and Corey are, in essence, I mean, I'm just under 5'10" and he's 5'9". Corey's towering over these dudes. So it's not like these dudes can be tall guys. You know what I mean?
No, they're not. No. And that's my point. That
like,
I think
what are we dealing with, a 5'4", 5'5"? Now, I'm not saying 5'4", 5'5" guys can't throw down. Yes, but
maybe it's just to simply show his more passive personality, right? And that he isn't a fighter, because you're right. Why doesn't he just beat the shit out of this guy? And it shows
Right?
more. I think maybe they play it that way. Whereas if he was a bigger guy, we'd be like, oh, well, obviously he's not going to pick a fight with this guy because he'd get his ass kicked. So I think maybe that's probably the creative decision behind it. Although I don't know. But don't mess with marching band members. Whatever.
No, I guess not, man. Jeez.
I like this little thing here where she's like, so do you want to do it? Yeah. Like she's like, it's got that little sort of spunk that Laurie has. And
what
that
did you
she's always
think
had.
of the scores, by the way? Did you like the music?
When I listen to the soundtrack online, I love it because Cody Carpenter, John Carpenter, Daniel Davies continue to knock these Halloween soundtracks out of the park. However, that's listening to it on its own away from the movie. I think in the movie, not all together, but in the movie, it's very underwhelming. And I think the score in 18 and Kills are far more prominent. I can hear it, and
it's the first time I'm not going to buy it on vinyl. I have the digital. I have it, not digital. I have it on Spotify. But it's not enough for me to like drop $40 or $30, whatever it is, to buy the vinyl record. It's good, but I do like,
look how fucking horny she is.
18. I know, right? I'm telling you, bumbling idiot. That's fucking Bella. Twilight.
She just
Bumbling
walked
idiot.
in. She's known him for like 2 minutes, and then she walks out into the parking lot. You want to get together?
But yeah, as far as the soundtrack, I like it enough to like have it like to listen to on Spotify, but I'm not gonna drop the money to buy it on vinyl.
And you know what? For the first time in this movie, it's not that I didn't like Andy Matichek's Allison before. I did, but because I think she has more to do in this movie because she's such a big part of the story with Corey. I want to see more with her, but not in this story, I mean, even when Corey says, I murdered somebody, it fucking turns her on or something. It's like, what?
Guys, I'm saying Bella. Twilight.
Oh,
Edward's like, I'm a monster. I love you anyways, okay? Like, whatever.
Anyway, for those of you that are just joining us, we are watching Halloween Ends off of Peacock. We are 23 minutes into the movie.
Did you see
Allison
my post
is
today on Facebook? What I said we were watching?
Yeah, Allison
and
is...
I shared the Twilight picture.
You did. I saw that. Yep. Allison is just helping to fix Corey's hand here. But again, I'm invested in this story. Like right now, I'm not missing Michael Myers. Yes, no. I'm not missing Michael Myers because they've done a good job at the story they're telling. And that's why it's like, this should not have been... Fuck, man.
It's like you said, I think you said before we went live, and it's sad to say this, Michael Myers ruins his own movie. When he comes in, it actually ruins the movie.
Yeah, it actually does.
Because of how he's being portrayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might make that tweet. Halloween Ends was pretty good until Myers showed up. Sad. It's like, it's true because these are two movies meshed together. Yep. That's what they are. They're two movies meshed together. Look at her. With me? You want to go with me? You literally just met this guy. But I need to get laid.
She needs the D, man.
She needs the D. She needs it.
She needs the D.
She's very forward.
She needs that Corey D.
Well, I appreciate the hand.
And I will say, as far as performance go, Rowan, is that the guy's name in real life?
Rohan Campbell, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, he's strong. Given the fact that with everything that's wrong with this movie, he does carry the movie.
Wait. Wait. We got to hear this.
Her party, or are you gonna just go?
Oh, the tits thing.
Yeah, the tits thing. It's so funny. It's the best line in any movie in a long time. It's the way she does it too. She says it, but she says it with such conviction.
She showed her tits.
It's true. But she says it with such conviction. Hang on. Here it comes.
Oh, Doug.
Hang on.
You need to find someone that can let go. That makes you want to rip off your shirt and show grief your fucking tits and say, you know what? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
You know what's great about it too?
But this is I wish this was more of her in the other two films. You know what I mean?
Sure. I wish this was the first episode of a fucking series. That's what I'd be like, yeah, this is great. I'm telling you right now that her saying that, it's so funny because she's like because she's still 64-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis. So seeing her say it is like I want to be like, grandma, like fuck. Or I guess for us,
Jamie Lee. You almost expect Jamie Lee to say that, right?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, for us, because of our age, it'd be more like mom, you know, but it's like, yeah, it's got that awkward, like grandma's been drinking again. Show Grief your fucking tits.
Now keep in mind, we are at 25 minutes and the only Michael we've seen is in the opening montage flashback.
Correct.
We have still not seen Michael at all in his final movie. And you know and we are sad? 25 minutes at 26. And I'm not even missing him at this point because I'm invested with what's going on. I'm not even missing it. It's until he shows up and I realize like, oh yeah, that's right. This is a Halloween movie with him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
She's hot. Dark hair, blonde hair. She's hot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, she's very attractive.
Yeah.
Yep.
She didn't have blonde hair. It was more like dirty brownish in the first two, right?
Yes.
It's definitely darker.
Yeah. It's not like
And I like the dark. I like
California
the dark on her hair, like the dark hair she went. Yeah,
that's right.
No, I know, but I like what she did. You know, as far as how they darkened it for. You know, I thought that looked good on her.
That's it. Yeah, see, this is what the film should have been. This story needs to be removed from this movie and its own separate thing because it's compelling enough. It's interesting enough. Yes, we've seen it before. We've seen it with Christine. We've seen it, you know, we've seen this kind of story in other films, but it works. It's a simple yet effective story. And, you know, like I said, you could just make it about this. Maybe Haddonfield's been back to normal for, 5 or 6 years and Michael's gone.
Scene with them in the grocery store, which was great. It was good. Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, this is good. And of course we see Hawkins here. No, I love her in this role here in this film. And then we see him say something. I like your hair. It's a little bit of flirting. There it is. There's a twirl
again. There's the Laurie twirl.
Right, because she was doing that in the original. But it's consistent to the character. It's consistent.
That's it.
It's consistent.
That's what I was saying when I was watching. It's like, that's Laurie Strode. That's the Laurie Strode. You know, because she there was a little bit of there in H2O, not so much. Because obviously she had the short hair, so there were some characteristic things she couldn't do. Right. When she's doing that shit with the hair, I'm like, that's Laurie Strode.
Well, and
I can't say anything negative about Jamie Lee Curtis's performance in this.
Right. And
it's kind of sidelined at times, you know?
It's not, but it's the overall sense of that vulnerability that the Laurie Strode character had in Halloween 1978. We
like
see
Brooke
that
said,
vulnerability.
It's the most Laurie
here.
Since 1978. Yeah, like
for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We see that vulnerability that I mean, she's still kind of strong, but there's a soft, vulnerable side to her. And they've done a really good job in this movie at communicating that to the audience through, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis's performance and her stepping back into those shoes to kind of, communicate that vulnerability, that sensitivity, is great. I totally believe it. I believe it.
Oh,
now,
Darren,
now she's still struggling.
He just said, imagine what they're going to do to The Exorcist. I have zero confidence in them now of what they're going to do to The Exorcist.
No idea.
I have none. If I had any faith in them, it's going to take a lot to convince me that they're going to land. And then what they're doing, 2 Exorcist movies?
3. Well, I'm sure they'll do 1 and then see how it goes. And then if it does really well, and then they'll probably follow the same sort of thing they did with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Hawkins is one of my, look, Hawkins, as I said on my video today, Will Patton is a terrific character actor.
This interaction outside the grocery store, didn't need it. There's no need for it.
No. Well, I wouldn't say there's no need. I would say that you're right that she didn't need to survive, but I understand why the interaction is there, because it's further communicating to the audience how the town sort of still kind of sees Laurie. They blame Laurie for the events of 1978, of 2018. I mean, obviously she wasn't the murderer, but they don't. She's still not fully welcomed back into the town, because for many years, for 40 years, she was the crazy lady that lived on the peripheral, and she was the one that was, and who knows how many people she was rude to, or who knows. So there's still a lot of sort of amends that she probably has to make with some of the town folk. So I think that sort of illustrates that. But the woman with the light bulb in her fucking thing, she doesn't need to be there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there was just no need for that. Maybe the woman by herself, but the woman in the wheelchair with the light bulb, like, no, come on.
Yeah, no, it's just
back to Twilight again.
Yeah. Here we are. Hi, baby.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I know I saw that you were happy about it. I mean, it was cool that he made the cameo.
Oh,
and that's
cool.
What he did. That's cool.
It's too bad. It's too bad PJ Souls is not here, and Nick Castle said that to PJ Souls.
Yeah, that's true.
That would have been cool.
Like if she was playing another character.
Yes,
or something,
yes, another character, and she was just an older lady that was there or whatever, and they bump into each other, and he's like, "Oh, hey, see anything you like?" And she's like, "Ah," whatever. But yeah, shout out to Nick Castle. I mean,
I gotta say, I agree with you. I like that scarecrow mask, and if he stayed with it, I dig it.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need Michael in this movie.
That's like fucked up. Michael, we don't need you in your own movie.
There he is, Nick Castle.
The OG.
There he
is.
The
original.
Yeah, there it is. Anything you like?
I like the little head tilt too he does with the mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yep.
Because there's a lot they could do with that type of mask, and even enhance it, like make it even better, more scarier, more darker. You know what I mean?
For sure. They could.
Something like he finds at the end. Like maybe he has like the plasticky scarecrow thing. Maybe that's the look he likes. Because like there's really evil, creepy looking scarecrow masks that I've seen on Etsy that I've thought to buy to use for my photo shoots and shit.
Right.
And if they like started with this where it's like plasticky and cheap, but then he finds a mask that's like really fucking creepy, right?
Yeah.
But it's got that scarecrow look to it, like a creepy scarecrow look. That could have been his signature look.
For sure. And you know what? Maybe because Allison gave it to him and he's in love with Allison, Allison is somebody that he doesn't touch, right? He doesn't kill her. And it means something to him psychologically because it came from her. And you could really dive deep into the psychological character studies of all this kind of stuff. And I wouldn't miss Myers at all. I would just know that I'm watching a story set in that universe after the Myers story is done. That's what it should have been. Because I give credit where credit is due. The writing is strong enough. The ideas are strong enough that you don't even need Myers.
Just even you saying that.
I know, it's weird.
In a Halloween movie that's connected to him. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. I'll get me some chocolate milk. But earlier I was saying that Will Patton is such a terrific character actor. I'm disappointed how underutilized he was in this trilogy because he's so good that every scene he's in, he elevates it.
He does.
And I would have loved to have seen more of him.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree on that. Anything that he delivers, he's bringing his A game.
Yeah.
It doesn't weaken or cheapen the scene. At all.
No. And two, because this movie feels so disconnected from the previous two films, there are, not a ton, but there are several sort of plot points and certain things that were introduced, especially in Kills, that we never actually find out how they resolved. So I'm just like, okay. I think that's very important to do that. Hey, you killed my fucking son. Okay, well, they're having that conversation. Let me get a super chat here. I got the Logan one, and then Based Gyron, is that how you say that? Sends in $5, says, I liked End simply because of the balls it took to go in the direction they did. The ending wasn't what I hoped, but this movie took balls to make. That it certainly did, and I'm very happy that it resonated With you, buddy. Cody Snyder sends in $2, says, I sent that question before Tony answered. Oh, okay. I know the one you're talking about from earlier.
Yeah, I got it.
Mentalect sends in $2, says, years of whining over Halloween Ends shouldn't be its legacy. I absolutely agree. I don't think, well, I mean, I'm not going to do it, but some people will. But it's fun to, it's fun.
After tonight, when we do this, I mean, unless someone asks it when we're doing a stream and in a super chat, I'm not going to watch this movie. I'm not going to talk about this movie. I'm not going to talk about it on my social media. Like, this is it. Once tonight is done, I'm done. I'm checked out.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I hear you.
I'm looking forward. It's sad to say this, but I'm more excited about watching Halloween 6, the producer's cut with you next week than I am doing this.
I hear you. I hear you.
Spoiler for what we're doing next week.
Yeah. So here's the, yeah.
Here's another Twilight moment.
And though too, before the movie was released, some people were asking me, and I was talking about it on this channel, you know, what do you think the dynamic's going to be? You know, why did Corey and Allison get together? And I said, well, look, I think this is just really a matter of, and again, this isn't communicated to you verbally. It's done through the use of cinematic language, but I think it's very clear that yes, Allison certainly finds him cute and attractive for sure. I mean, that's important. But she recognizes they both share something in common, which is being misunderstood, trauma, tragedy, right? She sees an opportunity to connect on a certain level and to help Corey in ways that, you know, maybe she hasn't received. Like, there's a bond there, right? You know, a lot of the times people that have been through shit sometimes find each other and they find that commonality because they've both been through shit. That really is, I'm not saying that's the whole thing, but that's certainly part of, even if she doesn't recognize it consciously and it's more of a subconscious thing, that is part of the reason why Corey is so alluring to her.
Yeah. Oh, just to clarify, the reason why we're doing H6, the producer's cut next week, is because we already did the theatrical. We did the theatrical one like about a year or so ago.
That's right.
So that's why we're doing the producers, because we haven't done that. We need to do that, and we need to at some point, maybe November,
Friday 8.
December, that. But we need to, or maybe next October, we need to do the Halloween 2 TV cut, because that shit is batshit crazy.
The Halloween 2 TV cut makes no fucking sense.
But
literally makes no sense.
It's kind of one of those movies you got to watch drunk because you're just like, what is going on? I love it. You know, like it's,
now.
But I enjoy the craziness of that than watching this.
In case you're just joining us, we're watching Halloween Ends on Peacock. We're 37 minutes, 35 seconds into the movie. Corey is getting beaten.
Is no show so far.
Corey's getting beaten here by the
40 minutes
by the Haddonfield School Band.
He's getting jumped by the school band. This one time at band camp, we jumped the boy.
That's right. Now you see him here, right? He's starting to lose it a little bit, right? He's starting to fight back. That anger is building up. You see, you don't even need Myers. You could run with this. That's what puts him, that's what is his downfall, his trajectory further and further and further into darkness is evil. Into the darkness and evil is this kind of behavior from the town that he lives in. That is a compelling story, and it's properly motivated. Absolutely properly motivated. You do not need Michael Myers. I mean, I understand why they do that here with Myers, but you don't need him to tell the same story. The only thing that would change is that instead of Corey going back to the sewer to get the Myers mask, he would just go back to the house to get the Scarecrow mask.
That's it.
I mean, that's it.
That's the difference.
Like, that really is it. You don't, and then he would start a killing spree, getting revenge on all the people that bullied him because he's fucking lost it. He's lost his mind. And evil is consuming
40 minutes all closing in on, and we still haven't seen Michael. 40 minutes.
No, he's coming in. He's coming in.
In the finale of his movie.
Here he comes.
Like, fuck.
Here he comes. But
yeah, he's gonna pass his powers on to him.
You
not
said
that
this.
We've not seen this before.
No, I know. But you said this earlier. As little as we get of him, James Jude Courtney and the mask still look great. They still look great.
Except for the moment where he looks like he's about to bust a nut on the dude when he's killed him. Like,
oh, yeah. Well, that. Yeah, no. But I just mean like the look.
What the hell is that? Like, for a moment, I'm like, shit, did I click on the wrong website? Like,
That's
what
right.
the fuck? I don't get that character.
He's hulking up like Hogan.
He was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, he's like orgasming and shit.
Hulking
like,
up like Hogan.
I do not need to see Michael do that. Like,
That's it.
fuck.
That's it. And again, I understand why we're seeing it. Makes sense that we're seeing it with this story that they're telling. It's just a creative decision I do not agree with. You are free to disagree, of course. But don't lose sleep over it, folks. Have a cookie and a glass of milk, and the sun will rise tomorrow.
That's right. We will move on. And everything will be fine.
Don't spend your life on the internet.
You're still gonna love the movie, and
relax.
You're gonna buy it. There you go.
Don't take it so seriously. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. I mean, Jesus, you could even have him run into something else down here other than Myers. And maybe we don't see it. It's some weird entity or something. Like you don't even need Myers. You know? It could just be some manifestation of the evil.
40 minutes and 47 seconds.
40 minutes and 47. There he is,
up.
folks. There he is. Michael Myers.
Is he crying? There's
No, I
no
don't think
crying
so.
in Halloween movies.
No, I don't think so. But I think the score here should have been more punchy. Score should have been a little more punchy. No, I'm not overly punchy, not like it was in the trailer, but just a little bit more. Yeah, I wouldn't have shown his eyes. That's unnecessary.
A little Christine-ish.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, 100%. Christine is all over this movie. I thought that shot there with him at the entranceway of the tunnel, they were gonna like do a 360 and kind of just like, you know what I mean, which could be done on a remote head. Just kind of turn it all the way around. They didn't do that, but you know who Nick Castle should have played was the bum. He should have played the bum.
Cool.
Yeah, because then the bum actually says, "Go get the mask for me." Can you imagine Nick Castle saying that? Go get the mask.
Oh my God, that would have been epic.
That would have been great fan service. That would have been fun. Wonder why they didn't think of that.
I know some people in the chat are bringing up the fact that Michael is in the first movie for 9 minutes and this one for 10 minutes. Okay, the point.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything.
Not to be redundant. I know, because when you're in the final finale of a franchise, the ending, you send your main attraction off. You want them in there as much as possible to service your fans. You don't want them not in the movie. You know what I mean?
Right. And
I can accept but also the difference between Halloween 78 and this is how Carpenter sprinkles him in throughout the movie.
Correct.
He's not, he doesn't, even though he's in there less screen time, he doesn't feel missed because of how Carpenter executed him.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, it is all in the execution. It's not the time. You see, with something like a film, of course, as you guys know, right? You can have a 90-minute movie or excuse me, you can have a character sprinkled in throughout, depending on how you edit the film, depending on what the pacing is and how you utilize the character. You can have the character actually on screen, actual literal on screen time, 7 or 8 minutes. But if it's done really well and you have the character, in the right moments that are meaningful and impactful and all that, then it doesn't matter. You can have the same character in a similar movie in the same amount of time on screen for the same amount of time. But if it's not utilized correctly, it can feel like he's missing, right? So it's really not about the length. It's about how the character is utilized. That is very true, Tony, at the end of the day.
And yes, I agree with what this person just said here, WJC. In the 78 film, when you watch that, he doesn't even need to be on screen and you feel his presence.
Yeah.
That's what makes that movie so fucking great, is because motherfucker doesn't even need to be there and you feel like he's somewhere lurking around.
Well, and all it takes, listen, the vast majority of Michael's screen time as we lead up to the nighttime shit in the original, he's standing behind bushes and behind cars and behind, it's
which
not like it takes that long.
Here. Like, fuck.
Well, not in this. Well, yes, in another
story, but
right. Yes.
Not this story, but in the final film, all that shit like this, when you see this shot, give me it one last time. You know what I mean? Give me a high angle shot of him looking. Looking at Laurie or someone else.
Look. Now, imagine this right here.
This should not be this kid. It should be Michael.
No. But imagine it is this kid because we're watching the first episode of Haddonfield on Netflix,
Oh, yeah, different.
and she looks out this window and she sees that and she goes, "Whoa, what the fuck?" Look at her face. Imagine this isn't Halloween Ends. It's just like an episode of God, it'd be so good. Fans would be fucking losing your shit. You know you'd be losing your shit. You'd be chatting about it online. Holy fuck, did you see the first episode? Oh my God, the first episode was so good. I would be doing that. We'd all be doing that.
Sure.
Why is it in this story?
Totally.
Oh. Corey, you want to go upstairs and bang?
Absolutely. See anything you like?
See anything you like. Now, again, like you said, shout out to Rohan Campbell, who's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job.
I'm invested, man. I'm invested. Like, this feels like an episodic episode. Like, it feels like an episode of television, doesn't it? Like, the way it kind of looks, the way it's lit, the way they've crafted their shots. I can see that, yeah. I can feel like yeah. I know. Yeah. I can see the comments after the stream. Dave, we know, we get it. Shut up about it being but I get excited because I see it as such a missed opportunity.
There are a lot of missed opportunities with this.
A lot of missed opportunities in this trilogy.
Yep. And like her look here when she's looking at him leaving, like just those little subtleties, man. Like
they would mean more.
When she goes back to being all Bella again because he tells her he killed someone.
Yeah, I killed someone. She's like, "Oh, that's so fucking hot.
I love you
really?
more.
I love you more.
Wet. Let's go bang."
Yeah, you killed someone. Let's fucking do it. Let's do it, bitch.
Really? I mean, that's how she's looking at him. She's looking down at the D.
Well, and looking down at the D at the head. I think you would question it. You would at least look. It's not lost on me what they're going for here and why she doesn't question it and this hold that he has in her. I get it. But I think it would have worked better for me if she had at least asked who or excuse me or what, like, you know what I mean? Just something to just kind of, the fact that it just seemed to kind of, turn her on was a little strange, but everything happened so fast. I just wanted to be a fun night. That's all. Just a good night.
Fade to black, end of first episode.
Yeah, you could do something like that. Fuck. Malik, give me a call.
We got some ideas.
Yeah.
We're going to save this shit.
We can turn this around. We can turn it around.
Not too late.
It's not too late. We can turn this around. Turn around. Na, 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 na. People that love this movie are probably like, shut up, you bug. It's okay to listen.
I know. I knew going into the stream, I had two choices. Either I tell them what they want to hear and that and be kind about it, or be honest about it. And that's why I said it's a give and take. I've allowed people on my social media, on my Facebook, to express that they like it. And I'm giving them that, voice to do that. I'm not going to hate on them for it, and they're giving me the chance to, be like, yeah, I don't see it the same 100%. Way, but we're not attacking each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're talking to each other like grown adults.
There's no time for that. You're a fucking loser if you do. Like, seriously, you're a fucking loser. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of dog shit, thawing dog shit in the springtime when you walk your dog out for a walk and you can smell that like manure.
Tell me how you really feel.
That's true. Oh, it's true. It's true because it's like, fuck, like, come on. You don't like the movie the way I like it, or you don't hate it the way I do. Shut the fuck up. What are you, 5? Please spare me. Jesus Christ. Go fucking put your head in the toilet and gulp.
Imagine having your own opinion about something, right?
Well, it's so lame. It's like, dude,
it's juvenile.
I'm 43 years old, man.
I had to deal with
shut the fuck up, okay?
One person this past week, one individual, he got into the borderline name calling, and I was like, bro, you cross that line with name calling, then all bets are off with me because I'm not the type to hold back. So you sure you want to go down that road?
I know.
But other than that, everyone else has been good. We've had good dialogue.
That's good.
the way it should be.
I'm glad to hear that.
I can only imagine what you're dealing with.
And you should see some of the shit I've had to deal with. And by the way, I'm not talking about people who disagree. I'm talking about people who throw verbal attacks and insults because they disagree with you.
Bringing it to grammar school fucking
right. It's like
bullshit.
It's like what the dude, I don't have time for this shit. Goodbye. Fucking life's too short, man. It's like, do I owe you money or something? Or did I miss it? Like, what the fuck? Nah. Now, this is one of the Mulaney's. Do you remember in Halloween Kills? Like, don't fuck or don't mess with the Mulaney's. Don't mess with the Mulaney's. I think this Doug guy, he's either a Mulaney or he's supposed to be that kid from Kills. Oh, no. Excuse me. He wouldn't be that. No, he could be because that was the flashback. Yeah. So maybe he's that kid. Maybe he's that kid. Let's check in on our poll here. The poll is there's 823 votes. How do you feel about Halloween Ends? I loved it. Perfect ending, 12%. I hated it. Total garbage, 29%. I liked aspects of it, 46%. I'm still thinking about it, 13%. So
take a wild guess where I'm at.
You're at I hated it total.
Guess what
I hated it total garbage.
Bingo.
I hated it. I hated total garbage. Total fucking garbage. Total.
Not the greatest. Not.
Toto garbage. Look at this. Like, what does he think he's going to do? He's a fucking police officer. But again, that would be an interesting dynamic for the Haddonfield series, right? Maybe even the police station has become a little corrupt and shit because of everything, or they're just very fearful. They're very afraid because Myers has been dead for like 5 or 6 years, and they don't like this kid, man. There's something about this kid, you know.
I can see as far as your poll, it makes sense, you know, as far as people liking aspects of it and why that would be the one that most.
Yeah, that's what I would have picked too. I liked aspects of it.
I totally get it,
but I don't like it as a whole. Like, I don't like it as the finale in this trilogy at all. I don't think that's...
And now we got a song that sounds like it's out of Twilight.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you ever seen Twilight?
Yeah, years ago.
Okay, so like...
Hold on to my pecs, baby. Hold on to my pecs.
I do like that bike, though, that you're driving. My mom had a similar bike like that she taught me to ride on.
I like the house, too.
When I was a kid.
I like the house.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a
Halloween
Carruthers.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a Carruthers vibe to the house. I definitely do like that.
Yeah.
Was this shot in North Carolina as well?
No, it was shot in Georgia, I think.
Oh, so they came back to Georgia?
Yep, I think so.
Because weren't they in Georgia for 18?
No, they were in South Carolina, I think, for 18, North Carolina, I think,
so they
for
just
Kills.
did a tour of the whole southern states.
Pretty much.
All right, fair enough. Okay. I'll have to look up where the filming locations were and maybe do some photo shoots over there.
We're getting close to Michael Myers' Hulk Hogan moment. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
You may think of Hulk Hogan, bro. All I'm thinking is he needs a girl kneeling down right in front of him and just let it go.
Well, it could have got really weird if, I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Well, we know what's going to happen.
By the way, was I tripping? Because I've only watched this once. Is he kind of hunched in the corner when the cop is flashing the light before he pops out?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so I wasn't hallucinating.
No,
that.
I saw that.
Okay.
But it almost kind of...
How does the cop not see him?
But it almost kind of reads like James Jude is waiting for his cue.
For his cue.
Like, it's kind of like it's because he's leaning over. Like, had he been standing upright kind of in the shadows a little bit, I think it would have worked better. But it plays like he's just kind of like, now. Okay, no, wait, now. Yeah, it's a little messy. I probably, if I was watching the monitor.
I wasn't tripping out. I did see him hunched over, and you're right. It looks like he's waiting for the cue to make his move.
Now,
and they didn't cut it out.
Again, I'm sure people are going to come.
He's hunched over because he's not feeling well, and that's why he's...
Shut the fuck up. You have no idea that you have no, that you're making an assumption just as I'm making an assumption that,
It's because...
All I'm saying is that if I was looking at it on the monitor, I would have been like, I don't like the way this looks.
And there's no way you're going to tell me the cop doesn't see him. He's
Fair,
literally
fair.
right.
He is. He is. And I just think it would have served better if he was there, but just kind of more in the background. And then he just springs into action, because you don't need to have him leaning over if that was the intention, because 5 seconds later he springs into action like it's nobody's business anyway. Now he ends up getting the bottom end of the stick, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I can hear people right now, Dave, I'm going to take this to Reddit.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get written up hugely. Oh yeah.
Oh fuck. It's great. I love it.
Believe me, this is the one video that I will not that we're doing tonight.
Dave and Tony from Two Dudes.
I am not going to be returning to the comment section at all. So say what you want. Go ahead.
Don't come to the comment section here, folks.
I will not be coming to the comment section.
Do not. Do not.
Nope.
Whatever you do not.
Nope.
Okay, so it's coming up here in a second. I'm gonna fuck you up, you little shit.
Someone's gonna do a porn meme with this. It's coming. No
here
pun, but it is.
Okay, so there he is. You see, I can see him.
There he is.
Hang on. Like, wait. We're gonna see him again. He moves the light over. Oh no, I missed it.
No,
So it was already no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's past.
I missed it. Oh well. Yeah, no, he was there. It was like a little strange. Here comes Myers. Little grin on his. Yeah, I brought you him. Yeah. Ooh.
And then he gets overpowered.
He died. Well, he's weak. It makes sense to the story. It totally makes sense to the story they're telling that Myers is. I'm okay with that. No. Hey, hang on. I'm not okay with it, but I'm like, it's not like I'm like, why would you do that? That doesn't make sense even in the story you're telling. No, it makes sense. I'm just like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see him vulnerable and weak like this. I don't need to see. But Dave, actually, did you know? Shut up. I don't need to see it. If you're fine with it, that's great. I don't need to see it. It's not the story I would tell. So therefore, it would never wind up in a movie that I was shooting. Now he's getting help. He's getting help. He's about to have an orgasm here in a minute. I love it. Hardy, 1298. But Dave. Here it comes. Do it. He's hogging out.
Blow that load, Michael.
Look at that.
He looks like he's about to bust his nut. Hogan. Got the head going up and everything.
Hogan. Ooh. He's macho manning it. Ooh, yeah.
Dave's keeping it PG. I'm going triple X.
I'm about to get real shit fucked up right now. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, Elizabeth. Maybe Corey is his Elizabeth. I don't know. I
don't know.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't need to see this side of Michael Myers. And I don't think you have to either. I don't think you have to.
You don't. No. It basically shits on everything that this man established in the first film. It really does. In my opinion, it demystifies him too much. It's about balance, right? It's not that he isn't a man. He is a man, but there's a supernatural edge and element to him that is the most important element and side to the character, because that's the driving force for the character. So that's the side of the character that should always be nurtured, noodled, and massaged the most. It's not that you can't show more human things to him, like the removal of the mask, or, to remind the audience that he's a man. That's fine. But at the end of the day, it's about balance, and you don't want to lean too heavily in either direction. But if you are going to lean, you want to lean more into the mystique and the anonymity and the illusion. That's what you want to do. So I don't need to see that process of him hulking up and gaining power. It ruins the mystique for me. Let's go up and bang. Now, there are some people that have said that they go up and maybe Corey impregnates her, and that's the next movie, that he's passed the evil essence onto Allison through a baby. Shot, Michael, looking at Laurie.
Yeah, but why did we? But I didn't need to see him walk away. He could have just been gone.
I was gonna say you could have done a cutaway, like where you don't see him. He's there 1 minute. That's what I'm saying. He's there 1 minute, gone next. Could have done that. You're right. Yeah. I thought the setup was cool, but the payoff of him, you actually seeing him walking out of frame. No, not so much.
But people have said that maybe Corey, impregnated Allison here. They had sex, and she's carrying his baby.
I guess maybe.
Yeah, an evil baby.
I mean, look, an
evil child.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, but yeah, she's gotta have the baby, then the baby's gotta grow up to, so you're talking 20 more years.
How would you feel about this? That Allison has the baby. The next time we see they do a part 4, it's with Andy Matichuk, Laurie Strode, maybe. Who knows? She makes cameo appearances, but we follow Allison. She's now married, and she has this child from Corey, and the child is now 6 years old. You know,
see where you're going.
You see where I'm going. You see where I'm going. And this child technically is the Michael Myers would have been
Lindsay. I forgot you were in this movie.
Great uncle or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Lindsay's useless in this movie as well. I mean, is she a bartender, a tarot card reader? What the fuck? Like, make up your mind.
I mean,
she's useless.
Again, poor use of a legacy character. I love Lindsay. I'm glad she didn't die. But just bad use of a legacy character again, like Tommy and
now
kills.
A lot of people have said that they like this moment with Jeremy's father. And I agree, because they use this moment as exposition to further communicate to the audience the unusual weirdness of Corey's descent into madness. What does it mean? What's going on? What's happening? Some people have compared it to a very sort of Dr. Loomis moment. Sure. I guess in this movie,
without repeating the lines. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Yes, that's right. But it's effective because it continues to hammer home sort of what Laurie is her fears, her worries, and it's very effective. Again, if maybe this is episode 2 of Haddonfield, right? Like, I mean, it's well done. I'm invested. They did such a good job at creating the 4th chapter, they forgot to make the 3rd.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much what they've done here. David Gordon Green and company have done such a great job of making part 4. They forgot to make part 5 or part 3. If you disagree,
and by
of
the
course,
way,
that's fine.
We're just barely shy of an hour when Michael finally kills someone with the help from Corey. He got an assisted kill. He didn't get a solo kill. Ooh. In fact, he only got 1 solo kill in this movie. It was the girl, and that's it.
Right.
And think about that. 1.
And folks, I
one
will
solo kill in the whole movie.
I know. We will get to your super chats. It's just going back and forth proved to be kind of a bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So if you want to send super chats in, feel free to do so. Of course, we will get to them at the end of the stream. Just so you guys know, we have not forgotten about you. I will pick up where I left off. Here is...
Tony, he only killed 5 people in the original.
Yeah, Tony.
It's just out of curiosity. I may just look at the comment section because I'm going to get torn apart.
No, actually, you know what? I actually think you're going to get a lot of praise. I think a lot of people are going to agree with you.
Think so?
Yeah. No, I do. Gauging by my viewers and sort of the pulse of what I've seen, I think there'll be a lot of people that will be like, yeah, you fucking say it, Tony. And you did a great job. You did a really good job at communicating and articulating your thoughts. And I don't disagree with anything that you said at the top of the show.
And I love this redhead.
There you go.
Sorry, I was just
distracted. And here's another thing that wasn't in the trailer that wasn't in the film either, is seeing the doctor actually in the pool. In the trailer, it's cut where we believe that that actually was a nice surprise, because when this scene came up in the theater, I was expecting when she turned on the light and screamed that we would be looking at the body in the pool, but we're actually seeing Corey in the fucking scarecrow mask stabbing the shit out of the doctor. I'm like, whoa, okay. Whoa, okay. Myers who? Like, we don't even fucking need him. Interesting, right? And if you watch very carefully, at least I didn't notice this in the theater, but I noticed this when I was watching on Peacock last night. If you pay attention to when she walks out into the pool area, you can actually, it's very dim, it's very dark, but in the background, you can actually see Corey stabbing the doctor. You can actually see him in the shadows going like this and stabbing him repeatedly. And then she turns on the light and looks and sees him, and then they add the sound design, that kind of stuff, right? But watch here, right there. You see him? See to the left?
Oh yeah.
You can see his hand going up and down. You see that shit?
I see it. Yeah.
You see it, but there's no sound design, right? They haven't put the sound design in there of the, to make sure that you not necessarily pick up on it, right? They want to continue to sort of, fuel that little bit of suspense.
Pick up on that. Well, I've only watched it once.
And then you turn on the light, and then of course they add the sounds and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Yeah, I thought that was well done. I thought that was cool. And seeing Corey get really angry and mad and banging on the fucking thing, and he's like, "Yo, fuck, come here," I'm like, okay. I'm not even missing Michael in this story.
All right, I hope no one's taking a bathroom break because this is the one and only time Michael's going to kill in this movie.
There you go. Here it comes.
Like I told my dad, he would text me. He's like, so should I see it? I said, yeah, if you see it, just don't go to the bathroom or blink because you're going to miss Michael.
Yeah, and they're working. I'm not a big fan of them working together,
I mean, yeah, they're like, this is like straight. Tell me if I'm wrong, someone in the chat room or Dave. Did they not pitch this idea originally for Halloween 5 that Jamie and Michael were going to go around working together, killing people or some shit?
Yes, I think there
Wasn't
was
that like one
that might be in the Taking Shape books. I'm not sure, but I think you are correct. Yes,
that it was presented as an idea. So what's this thing here where like he's holding his hand like and he's feeling his presence? Like what?
Yeah,
what's I don't know.
100%. Well, again, they're not completely telling you, but absolutely when he removes the gauze from his hand and he looks at it, he looks at Michael and Michael looks over, clearly that communicates to me that there is some sort of energy, something he's feeling at that moment. For sure. Absolutely. 100%. And there's the kill. It's a fine kill.
I like this.
It's all right.
Fine kill. Good callback with the head tilt.
James looks great.
I wanted more of that. You know what I mean? I just, that's the kind of shit I wanted to see. Now we're back to Twilight. What the fuck? God damn.
But that look, though, I will say that look that Rowan Campbell gives when he's got his hand on the window and he's, and he's looking at, cool. I'm like, ooh, shit, there's fucking like this shit just got real. Like that kid's in fucking trouble, and I'm like, yeah, I want to see this story. And then they kill him off and it's like, what the fuck? Well, they killed him off.
Not only do they kill him off, he kills him. He kills himself. Yeah. In essence, I mean,
actually, technically, Dave and Tony, technically, Michael's the one that finishes the job.
He finishes. We're just
busting your balls, folks.
It was a 3-part kill. It involved Laurie, himself, and Michael.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah, I can see that, Darlene. Twilight / Lost Boys. Yeah, it has a bit of a Lost Boys, thing going on too. Hello, Michael.
Yeah, I didn't see the Lost Boys. I've only seen Lost Boys a couple of times, so I didn't pick up on that. But I believe you. I believe there's probably that. I definitely pick up on the Christine vibe.
Sure.
For sure. I mean, that's probably the biggest, heaviest parallel in the film. And did you notice when Corey falls to the ground, he sits up like the shape? I noticed that the first time in the theater, and I was like, okay. It didn't bother me.
It was a pretty good sit-up.
It was a good sit-up.
A little fast, but
It was good. It was good. Yep. Yeah, his legs and knees didn't come up when he sat up.
If he had a little more time to practice it, I'd like to see him maybe land it like Michael did in the original, because I think he could.
We're such nerds.
It was pretty good, the setup. The setup was pretty good. I kind of liked it. I think if we had more time.
We're so sweaty. We're so sweaty. It's great. I love it. What are you insane? You try to kill yourself? I'm not interested in immortality. I like that line. It's a little foreshadowing. And then, of course, the DJ comes out. Yo, this is private property. Not safe to be doing whatever the hell it is you're doing. Corey Cunningham. What are you doing out here, you ugly motherfucker? See what I mean? Like, all you need is just this story about people just being mean to this guy, and he just fucking loses it.
Yeah.
She teased a man with the brain damage, and then look what happened. Look at you. Which isn't true. Well, he's talking about...
yeah, I was like, when did she tease a man with brain damage?
I think he might be alluding to, like, he's being sexual about it, I think. I think he's, like, kind of saying that, he's playing hard to... Or I don't know for sure. Because, no, obviously he didn't... Or she didn't literally tease him. But maybe because she he's interpreted as somehow like she didn't give in to, I don't know. It's a weird line. I think I know what they're trying to communicate when he says that, but yeah, there's a couple
as far as I know, Michael stalked her in the first movie.
Yeah.
Stalked her in the second one, stalked her in H2O, stalked her in, well, no, he didn't stalk her in 18. He was
There's a couple of different ways you can tell
there. He was brought there by I almost said Dr. Mixter.
Ooh, Dr. Mixter. Is it Dr. Mathis or something? Or?
No, the Sartain.
Sartain. Yeah.
Sartain brought Michael to Laurie. So that really, that's just fucking coincidence.
And why?
You know what I mean?
Why does Corey's mom kiss him on the lips? It's very strange. Here it comes.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever kissed my mom on the lips.
Well, listen, if Corey, if Corey was, if Corey was 4, if he was 4 years old,
okay,
or 3 years old, okay, I get it. But he's 24. The fuck is the mother kissing him on the lips for? Ooh, the abandoned house. Now, some people have asked me, and I don't know the answer. And I admit I didn't.
Was Michael in the house?
No. Is Laurie even really there, or is this just a figment of Corey's imagination? It's interesting. I don't know. I listen. On first watch in the theater, I believed that she was there. But I don't know. I need to watch the scene again and sort of just kind of pay attention to the nuances and the subtleties of the exchange and how it's shot.
You could say it's in his head,
but it may be. I don't know. I don't know what the original intent was, but I do find that an interesting question that I haven't really solidified an answer on yet. So I'm not really sure, but certainly again that's interesting. But it is effectively communicated that she could have just left too, because he gets distracted because he gets in his own head, and then he looks and she's gone, and then he goes and he sees that there's a window open. So it's clearly communicated that she could have been there and left. But who knows?
Who knows?
Am I a bad person?
He sounded like fucking the dude who played Edward in Twilight too. Sounds like him a little bit. Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit there for a moment when he talked.
Yeah.
When he said, "Am I a bad person?"
Yeah. I admit I don't like the line, "If I can't have her, nobody can." It's a very cliche line. Well, it's just cliche. It's so in the zeitgeist that it's kind of become just cliche. If I was writing the script, I would have kind of been like, well, let's figure out another way to say that. You could have said something like, I can't think off the top of my head right now, but there's many different ways that you could communicate that same meaning without saying, if I can't have her, nobody can. It just seems a little cliche. She has me now. I like that shot. I like the way it's lit. I like that shot, looking at him through the railings. Yeah. I like it.
Split lighting.
Split lighting. Yep. It's a good shot. It's a good moment. There's nothing wrong with this scene. Except for maybe the little heavy-handed dialogue, but it's all right. See, he's lost in his head right now in his thoughts and things like that. And he looks over and she's gone. But was she ever there? I don't know. It's interesting. Because she doesn't ever say that she went to see Corey. She says she went to see Corey's mother, which we see. But she never said, I visited Corey. Now, again, there's the window that's open, so it could go both ways. And maybe that was the intention of the scene. Maybe when they were shooting this scene, they were like, I wonder if anybody's going to have that conversation. Now, David Gordon Green and the writers, I would assume, because you should, you know what the intention is in your own mind, but I wonder if when they were shooting it and putting it together, if they had conversations.
Oh, I hate this fucking scene.
It shot
of every fucking scene in Halloween that's ever been filmed. This is absolutely the worst. The way he manhandles Michael and
I know.
I got so.
I just want to finish.
Hang
on. I just want to finish my thought. I just want to say that I think that scene is effectively done, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was left open to interpretation on that level.
He's just standing there, like he's waiting to, like, what?
Yeah,
and now we're gonna fight, and he's gonna get tossed around by this little shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, David Gordon Green. Fuck your mom. Fuck your dogs. Fuck everybody in your fucking family. The fact that you even thought this was a good idea goes to show you are an idiot fucking genius. Because you made a movie worse than Halloween Resurrection.
Well,
in my opinion,
that's open to interpretation. But I do agree that
he slams him down like come on.
You're just a man in a Halloween mask. Why do you have to tell us that? You don't need to tell us that. Again, that's a little heavy-handed. You don't need to say that. You can communicate that in other ways. I mean, it's not a bad line, but I knew he was going to.
Okay, cool. We get to sit up, and now we're going to see Michael's face, sort of ish.
Yeah. They show a lot of that. I mean, they don't show it, but
enough of it.
They show enough of it, but they do a good job of doing what they did. Excuse me.
Let me rephrase my Resurrection comment. I would choose to watch Resurrection over this shit for the simple fact that Michael's not treated like dog shit. Fair enough?
I understand. Yep. No, I understand.
Both movies are dog shit.
It.
I don't like either one of them.
I get it.
I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like Resurrection's like, no, not even close. But just to.
But watching this movie, like even right now, take out the scene we just saw with Myers, take out all the Myers scenes. Are you invested?
I mean, just think about it. Think about what you're saying. Take out.
I know. In the trilogy, in the end. But I'm invested. Are you invested? I am.
I'm invested if there's no Michael.
Yes.
If this is not the end of a trilogy.
That's what I mean. It's about this.
If it's a new, launch stepping stone to a new wherever we're gonna go, I'm intrigued. You got me invested. But when you're bookending it to a trilogy, this is Michael's final, performance, whatever. No, fuck
yeah, it is. It's unfortunate because, like you said at the top of the show, James Jude Courtney has done it has been such a struggle to find the right Myers and the right mask and the right movements and the right beats. It is a shame that this is how you have his incarnation of the character go out. And I'm not talking about the end scene in terms of like putting him in the compactor or I mean, I'm talking about how they treated the character in the story. It is too bad that they decided to go that route because
she chooses her boyfriend over the family. That's
James,
what Bella does in Twilight.
James deserved better than that. Yeah. You have to believe me. Believe you? You want me to believe you? Well, yeah, because you fucking hurt your knee in the Myers house 4 years ago, and I told you it was going to happen, and you didn't believe me, and then it did, and so I'm telling you now that you should believe me. Why aren't you believing me? Because you're the one that's capable of a fucking arm. Yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme. What is that movie?
That's Hard Target.
Hard Target. Yes, I think so.
That's such a great movie.
Yeah. See, he just wants to fucking.
I took my brother to see that movie because he wasn't old enough to go see it because he was a big Van Damme fan.
Nice.
I took him to see that.
Nice. Nice.
Here we go with some Christine,
Oh, yeah.
I liked it. It was cool.
I like the blowtorch death.
Yep. Again, now that we've removed Michael from the equation, I'm back into it.
That's right. That's right. And instead of him wearing the Myers mask, he would be wearing the Scarecrow mask.
Well, again, I will say, when he puts on the Myers mask, it's the first time I feel like I'm actually looking at Michael Myers.
Fair.
In a Halloween film since the original, because of his height structure is the same as Dick Warlock's and Nick Castle's.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at. That's why all my photos that I do, I keep Michael small. I don't make him the menacing big guy that he evolved to, which I understand why audience like it. I get it, but I just don't believe that was Carpenter's intention. Well, honestly, I think Carpenter's intention was, Nick, you ain't doing anything You know, that was really the true intention.
Right.
But there is something scary about an average height guy who's not big and bulky, who has this insane fucking strength. That's fucking scary. I fully expect a big guy to do what he does, you know, when he's big. Yeah. Like Tyler Mane or, you know, or James Jude Courtney. But when it's someone who's like Castle or Warlock's height and he's fucking shit up like that, that's cool. Fucking scary. And so when they did that with Corey, even though it's not Michael, for me as a Myers fan to see that, I was like, it's not Michael, but I like it for what it is.
Well, and now imagine if this was a passing of the torch, and he's not Michael Myers, but imagine if he does take on the mantle, and he's younger, it's fresher. The evil that was in Michael moves into Corey. He's got the mask. It's Corey Cunningham, not Michael Myers. You know what I mean? And again, those themes about. I mean, that is part of the theme and the messaging that they're talking about, is that could that happen? And, you know, what if that did? And that's why we see him in the getup and all that. I get all that. But what if they had carried it through? They didn't kill Corey. They actually carried it through and actually did pass the torch. That's an interesting what if. And
I love this shot here, the low angle shot. It's very OG Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very OG Halloween.
Yep. I wonder, because there are such a big I mean, listen, there's a lot of fans that hate this movie, but there are a surprising number of fans to me that actually really do like the movie. And I wonder how they would feel if this was what they were doing. Like, but again, didn't stop short and have him kill himself, actually carried it through. You know, and it ends maybe with Corey being gone, right? They look and Corey's gone. It's like, what? I mean, I understand they wouldn't. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, there's some things to think about there. I wonder if it would resonate with fans. Even though we think it wouldn't, I wonder if it would. Oh, no. And he's gone. Ooh, how did he do that? It's Corey. How's he doing that? It's the evil, whatever that is.
Very original Halloween.
Yeah, for sure.
It's very original Halloween.
And he doesn't even give a fuck about his dad. He doesn't care.
He's gone now.
He's gone. He's gone. He's totally gone. He's totally gone.
Yep.
Yeah, like all of this stuff is good.
Yep.
But it's just the Michael shit.
I love it when she's like, "You're dead too."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's an intriguing story that they just put in the wrong movie.
Good kill with the blowtorch. I like it.
I like that. Shout out to Christopher Nelson for another, and his team for another great job on the makeup effects in this movie. I love
this shot.
Yeah.
I love it. I do. You know, the boot stomping thing, we've seen that already, but okay.
Yeah.
Taking off in the truck.
Halloween and listen to that music. Yeah, listen to that music.
Little Halloween 4 call back there.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But all of this is building and
again, same thing. Right now, I am enjoying it for what it is, and I feel like I'm watching the original Halloween again. And I just, like you said, you remove Michael out of the equation, it's a whole different fucking movie.
Yeah,
entirely different movie. Better fucking movie.
It actually is.
It really fucking is. Like this shot, the reveal of him behind his mom.
Yeah. Well, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's not a bad movie. It's a bad Halloween movie. That's all.
Yeah.
And when he walks by the window here, he looks very Dick Warlock-ish. Watch him. Very Dick Warlock.
Very, very.
Here
like I said, this is the first time I feel like I've seen Michael Myers in 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like even that right there, that turn. And I believe, I stand to be corrected, but I believe that is Rohan Campbell in the outfit doing this. I think you're
right. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it is him. Look, he does not
just look the way he's walking and everything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching the OG again, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very Halloween too. I do agree with those that have said that. He's got a little bit of a Halloween 2 vibe. Which is all right, because Halloween 281 is very beloved.
Yeah, because now Michael doesn't come back until the end.
Correct. Correct.
Which we're almost at anyways, but
yep.
And I like the
now this kill was good.
Kill.
Yep. Very much like the hot tub thing with the.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a good kill. Remember when I said it was Corey in some of the videos I did because you can see his ring?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Very Dick Warlock, very Nick Castle.
Oh!
Now imagine if that was the Michael Myers. I'm just saying now in general. Imagine that was the Michael Myers we got in 2018 in Kills. Like if that was the, if whatever, they went with this guy to play him the part.
Yeah. I love the tongue.
I mean, I know people want the big guy, but like, man.
But if it's earned, it's got to feel earned. And if you tell a compelling story, you don't just transfer the essence or transfer the torch. You tell a compelling story that's properly motivated.
I'm just saying in general, if it was the physique,
I see what you're saying.
Like, what if that was the size they went with in 2018 in Kills?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, just like it just feels like I'm watching Michael again. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. She's sitting there waiting for the bad boy. I think that should say grandma instead of Laurie. But I understand why it says Laurie too, because that shows you that there's an emotional disconnect between her and her grandmother. That's a nice throwback, seeing the
three
OG. But
ladies.
I mean, yeah, it's all right. I would have rather have seen Laurie at their grave sites personally than seeing behind the scenes set.
Speaking of grave sites, no Judith, no more One More Time with Judith. Nope. I mean, not that you really need it, but they could have done it as an ending shot, whatever. But
and they're still living in Haddonfield. Would they be still living there? I don't know. Probably not. Let's be honest.
The house is destroyed, right?
I have no idea. Did they mention it?
I think they mentioned at the beginning of the movie the house is destroyed.
Did they? Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to hear that again. Laurie goes upstairs to call it in.
Certainly would have liked to have seen a bit more of a conflict between Laurie and Junior Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. No payoff.
Well, and also too, the suspense that they built in the
trailer
is not in the movie.
Right. All right.
So, it's like, what the fuck? So he just kind of like, they just start at the point where he's already opening the door. I don't think they should have done that. I think they should have, I don't think they should have done that. And this is why, because we last saw, I don't know if this is the last time we saw, because we saw Michael earlier standing by the tree, right? We've established that he knows where the house is. And we've established that he knows it's Laurie's house. Not that he's thinking, oh, that's Laurie from 78, but we've established that. So to go back and do a POV shot, not through the mask, but just a POV shot of somebody approaching the door, you're going to think, is this Corey or is this Michael? Because we know Michael knows where Corey is. He was there like a day or two ago or earlier that night. I forget the timeline here now. But he was there. He knows this. So that I think that's a missed opportunity. And then we see him come up the stairs and obviously as soon as you see the mask, you'll know it's Corey. But that might have just been fun to play around with a little bit. I mean, not 100% necessary, but you could do it.
911.
Why do 911 operators in films always sound like
911? What's the emergency?
I mean, I know that's what they say, but they always kind of sound like
911. 911. What's the emergency?
So she knew that Corey was in the house. Because she wasn't even shocked that it was Corey. Like I thought when he took off the mask, she was going to be like, "Oh my fucking God, like it's Corey." I mean, maybe she knew too because of his height. I don't know. Of his height, I guess perhaps. I mean, obviously she's aware that Corey is descending into darkness, into madness, so it's not a total shock. I understand that. I'm just saying that I thought there would have been a little more of a reaction because, again, in the trailer, we see her go, nah. Well, what is she going now or screaming to? We never see that scream, so I don't know. Here it comes. You didn't really think I was going to commit suicide, did you? Or kill myself? Oh! And that's it. That was a weird shot, too, to see him kind of fall. It looked like the...
You know what would have been great?
It's weird.
If he was shot and she goes to look down and he's gone.
Yes.
That would have been really cool.
And then Michael shows up. They kill Michael and everything, but Corey's never seen.
Right.
Ooh.
Corey's never seen.
Right.
Maybe the mask is left there on the floor.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
And he's gone.
Yep. Yep.
Because this doesn't make any sense. You've built us this whole character to this point. This is where again, like, I know there's good moments that I've talked about in this film. Now you're just going to fucking kill him. Not only are you going to kill him, he's going to kill himself.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Well,
that's not something. If he's going to be the next Michael Myers, that's not something Michael Myers would do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, no, and no, it's true. And obviously, the intention was he wasn't going to be the new Michael Myers. But I agree with you. Again, you've built up a very compelling story. Again, maybe compelling's too strong of a word, but interesting. I love the character. I'm emotionally invested in this story, not the Myers story. And I should have been invested in the Myers story, but I'm invested in this. And yeah, I imagine if this is like episode 5 now of Haddonfield, and it's like, yeah, like, let's keep this going. Don't have him stab himself. I mean, again, I know why he did. There he goes. It's not lost on me. I get why he did. I just don't agree with it. I think we should do something else.
Yeah, I agree, my man. I agree.
I do like this, though, when she pulls out the knife and it's kind of like she looks like the cat that ate the canary. It's like, this literally looks like you just stabbed my boyfriend.
Right?
It literally looks like you just murdered the fuck out of my boyfriend. What did you do to him?
I will say this scene, the way they're acting wasn't good.
It wasn't. I agree.
It really wasn't. Like,
I agree.
Jamie Lee could have done a little better because she didn't seem like...
It feels like acting. Let's just say it. It feels a little.
It feels like
forced.
you're trying. It's like you're in acting class for a day, and you're
it just
this
feels.
Is what we're doing.
It's just not as convincing as I think it could have been. Just the way she's reacting and responding.
She does, right? It's like acting class, and we're performing in front of our friends.
And then she.
Holy balls! You mean Michael's gonna finally show the fuck up in his own movie? Get the fuck out of here! We're only 1 hour and 30 minutes into it, but hey,
Now, I do like the way that, again, hardcore fans will have picked up on it, the way she leans against the wall and slides down. Very reminiscent of the way she leans against the wall. Yes, of course.
She leaned against the wall and slid down. I want to go to that home and take a piece of that wall home with me.
Dude, there were people. Hey, dude, I took a piece.
Dude, you say that?
Dude, I full disclosure, when I was at the bush the hedge in Pasadena.
I wouldn't say it publicly. You might get in trouble.
I took a little, fuck it. It was years ago. I took a little piece of the hedge with me. It's in a book.
I'm going to take a little piece of this wall
Problem
here.
is, you might have people continue to do that. And
then the hedge will be gone. Yeah. Now this, what are we going here? No, Michael's just going to fucking kill him for sure.
There he is.
Seal the deal.
I only waited 90 fucking minutes for him, but hey, what the hell, right?
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Compelling, interesting story, wrong movie.
How do you like the mask in this, the way they've executed it? I thought it was good.
I don't mind. I
like kills in the 18. I love the 18 mask. That mask has really, I can't wait till they finish up mine here and I can start doing some new pictures with that. I will say the 18 mask has really grown on me a lot.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I think the differences between this and Kills are pretty marginal. This has more mold but it looks pretty much like Kills. So I think it looks good. James looks great. Looks good. Ooh, it's raining. That's what I would have done too. I would have had a thunderstorm. And by the way, folks, if you want to know what I would have done, there's a video on my channel right now. It's like 1 or 2 videos back, and it's titled Halloween Ends.
He sounds like
My
he's gonna
Idea.
Start crying. He really does. He's breathing so heavy, like he sounds like he's about
Well,
to
he's
start
old.
crying.
You see, I think the intention
that's
is
not
that
what you want.
he's old, he's weak. Now, I will say this. This is something that Darren Sands said of the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast, and I agree. All those people out there, and again, it's not what I would have, but I understand that people are saying, wait a minute, how can Michael take on all these firefighters and Laurie Strode you know, and they don't win, but Laurie can. Well, he's an aging, not fully at 100%.
I guess he's infected from all
his wounds. He's
even
firing.
Though he would have died a year after the fact, because if you don't get medical attention from everything he's sustained, he's dead.
That's the supernatural element.
He's dead.
That's the supernatural element.
Well, then if that's the case, he should be fined.
Well, I don't know.
One way or the other, we can't go both ways.
I know. I'm just simply saying that I think that's what they were counting on.
For a fight scene, I will say this: it definitely gave me some ideas to do with the 2018 mask. In the house that I'm going to be doing some pictures in. Like, I like the kitchen island thing. Talked with a girl that I told you that we're coordinating some. You know,
I like that. I like that. The choke right there. The choke. Yeah,
very cool.
The choke. I like that. Again, the fight in and of itself, well choreographed. The intensity is there, but it's too short. This is what we've been building up to. This is what we wanted to see, and it's not long enough. Take it to other places in the house. Have her run out into the street for some reason. You find a reason to have her run out into the street so it's properly motivated. She runs out. He's chasing her. You have a scene that looks like it's straight out of fucking 1978. She's in her blue, she's running down the street. He's coming after her, whatever they can. Have this fight. It doesn't have to last 20 minutes, but maybe you could have it last, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Yeah. That may not sound like a lot of time, but that's a lot of time in film.
I like this. Michael's like, no, bitch, you ain't doing that to me again with the fucking
it's cool.
sewing needle. Like, no, cool. Not this time.
And he sticks it like right in her ear, I think, too.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, right. Like right in there. Like, but again, like, the fight is good. I like it, but it could have been so much more. And I don't mean John Wick so much more. Like fucking. I just mean
a little bit more around the house.
A little bit more around the house.
This is it. I mean, we're basically almost done.
Yeah, exactly. Now here we're basically done. This is it. This is
now take a very close look at his positioning.
I will. And you want to know why it also should be more? Because we've already seen them battle in Halloween 18.
I know.
They battle at the end of 18. So I've already seen this. Yeah, I see it.
Well, there's an up angle shot of it.
Right here.
Right there.
Right there, yeah.
I think there is a symbolism to that specific pose, and I think it's something. I think it's evil. I think it's the opposite of Christianity, because Christianity is like that, right?
It's the as above, so below. It's very similar to like when he got his fingers shot off. Yeah, no, I think that's intentional. I would be shocked if that's not intentional. I did a whole video on my channel.
Symbolism to that type of crucifixion pose.
There's a video on my channel where I talk about the as above, so below. How do you like
the actual execution of his death? Do you like it?
Yes, I do. I do, because look, technically it could have been more cinematic in terms of, chopping off his head, having him on fire. Sure. And they could do that and they'd be properly justified, because all those, H2O, H2, they're not canon.
She's taking her time with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's been waiting 40 years to do this. She's enjoying the moment.
She has, but I just want to say that I like it. I like it because it's just having him bleed out. Having him bleed out, I think, is is cool. I think it's cool, and it's
something I never would have thought of. It is an original way to kill off Michael. I will give them that.
And he does die. He dies on that table. He bleeds out. Yeah, he doesn't die. He doesn't die in the compactor machine. That's just the disposing of the body. That's for the audience to go, okay, he's not coming back. Because they know if they had left it here, maybe somehow the blood rejuvenates and whatever, right? But yeah, that's
this was all right with a good flashback sequence when she says do it.
Yep.
And they bring back some of the old stuff.
Yep.
And I thought he was going to finally get her. I really did.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
It would have. They both go.
Yeah. Yeah, again, right? It's the making it feel connected. But yeah, no, I don't mind it. Even though you could have chopped off, but they didn't. They didn't do anything that had been done in previous movies. Even though they're not canon, they are in the Halloween pop culture zeitgeist. So if you did anything that resembled anything that came before, even though it's not canon, people would be like, what the fuck? And I think bleeding out was good. So he's dead. He's dead. He is dying or dead at this very moment. He's dead. Yeah. He is bleeding out and he's dead.
I mean, yeah, because
Well,
there's only
he's
times
about
you're
to.
gonna
He's about to right now. Yeah.
there's only so many times you're gonna shoot the fucker, burn him, whatever.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
this is a very creative way to end the character. Yeah, you're
100%.
right. With the compound thing, whatever they do, that's like you said, that's burying the body.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. This is good because it's not overly sensational and corny like fucking, machine guns and tanks and ballistic missiles, and it's like they were never going to do that. They were going to do something that was very grounded and very human, no pun intended, but very grounded and appropriate for the story that they're telling. So I don't mind that. Yeah. I don't mind. It makes perfect sense. And he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. If he was Jason or Freddy, no, but he's Michael. No. He's dead.
And I like the line where she's like, he's dead.
That, not dead enough.
Yeah.
She says that, I think.
She does.
Allison says it. Yeah. Not dead enough. Michael. But here's Hawkins, great character actor, just shows up at the end, and it's like, oh, fuck. Yeah, folks, I have a video on my channel called Halloween Ends, My Idea. Check it out if you want to. It's about 20 minutes long, I think.
Hey, is it true that with this particular movie, that they were going to pass the evil on to Laurie? They were thinking about that?
I've heard something. I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed yet, but I have heard that making the rounds, that one of the endings they were going to do was, they were going to sort of end on a cliffhanger where Laurie is kind of consumed.
Trying to go with the Jamie Lloyd approach?
Similar. Yeah, I don't think she kills anybody, but I think maybe I don't know. There's something like that. Maybe that was the ending that played at a test screening alongside this one, and that ending didn't play well. I don't know. I don't know which ending played well and what didn't, or what they reshot specifically.
Sorry, guys,
or
you're not
not
going to top Halloween 4's ending. Like, nope, not going to happen.
The funeral procession, there it is.
Yeah, because everybody just happens to be gathered at the right moment to go do this, right? Okay. They weren't doing anything else on their Halloween night. They were gearing up and ready for this.
That's it. Gotta love Barker, folks. There's Hawkins. Looks like his head's
honestly, it should have just been Laurie, Allison, and Hawkins taking him. They didn't need to do all this.
No, I mean, again, I understand why they did, because it's about the, again,
we need to have another protest-ish.
Well, no, it actually, again, with the story they're telling, it does suit into the themes about it's the town that was infected, so the town's got to come and watch Laurie, put him in the thing, and I get it. It doesn't bother me, but I don't think it's necessary. No, I think
it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Just Allison, Laurie, and Hawkins, and that maybe Lindsay. Maybe Lindsay's the only other person there.
You got to listen to my sequel concept, the video that I uploaded just the other day. My idea for Halloween Ends. My idea is I take Halloween Ends as is, and I just shift focus. So I remove Corey from the movie altogether, and I shift back onto the core four: Laurie, Allison, Hawkins, and Lindsay, and I go on from there. So that's what I would have done, and we follow them, and still delivering on the messages and the themes from this film. You can actually do it. This was interesting. And again, shout out to Christopher Nelson with the effects team. What a great job on this. But this is
tough seeing it. I gotta say, it is tough seeing your boy. I hate seeing this, to be honest with you. This is your boy. This is Michael. This is like, I don't want to see this shit.
But they wanted to give it a finale.
They could have. I get it. They could have given me the sound, but the visual, I didn't want to see the visual.
There he goes. Oh. Yeah,
he ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back.
Done.
I like that shot. I like that shot of Laurie and how it's lit and she's looking down and the town behind her. That's a great still image. The look on her face, the pain, the infect. I like that. And then we hear her interior voice monologue and it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, some people have said, and I haven't really dove into this, and I think they are right, but I haven't formulated my thoughts yet. When you see the mask just sitting there in the final shot before the credits, I listened to it on full blast on my studio monitors, and it does sound like there is breathing. Not Michael Myers breathing, not like... not like that. It just sounds like somebody's like off camera going,
Well, let me turn
like
up
that.
the volume.
So it's interesting. And I'm like, yeah, it does sound like that. Now, I don't know if that's intentional or if that's by accident. I imagine that those static shots would be shot MOS, which just simply means shot without sound, because you don't need sound there. Any sound that you would have in those static
ADR.
shots would be added in post. That's right. So when they say that, we'll shoot something MOS, they just mean we don't need the boom operator. We're just going to roll camera. So I don't know where the is coming from, because it's in the final shot looking at the mask. I do hear what people, now I'm not saying it's breathing. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just simply saying that I do hear what some have said, and I can certainly see why you would think that. But I haven't dove into it deep here in my studio and sort of isolated a few things in the frequencies to kind of really see if and it's so nerdy stuff, to see if I can kind of have a conclusion on it. But I do hear what I think people are hearing, but it doesn't sound like Myers. It's not like, it's not like that. It just sounds like some dude's breathing off camera. So I don't know. It's a,
Hawkins
it's
putting the
strange.
moves on Laurie Strode.
He's putting the moves. He's putting the moves. Cherry blossoms, cherry blossoms, cherry blossoms, cherry blossoms. I want to go see the cherry blossoms and get naked with you. You want to go see the cherry blossoms and get naked and have sex under the cherry blossoms? You want to do that?
Michael Myers is watching us.
Let's go and have.
That's a whole different movie.
Why don't we go have sex under the cherry blossoms on top of Michael's mask?
He's
gonna put the mask on.
Can I put the mask
Yes. Yes. But this is a
All right,
nice
let me hear
little
this. I
moment.
got the volume
Yeah. Okay.
up.
All right. I'm going to turn this up too here, so our viewers can hear this here. It's on the last shot. See. So you okay?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Hold on. Let me rewind that really quick because you were talking.
Sorry, dude. Sorry. Yeah. It's actually, hang on before you. Okay. I've rewound back to 1:45:18. It's actually, my apologies. It's actually not just on the last shot. It's on all the static shots, but it doesn't sound like Myers. No, I know. It's because I've paused it. I'm just saying for our viewers, it doesn't sound like Myers. It just sounds like somebody breathing. Okay. Rock it, Tony.
Now I got it back set up.
Okay. Let Tony listen to it.
God damn it, man! Stop! Every time he talks.
On the right, on the wrong thing.
On the exact.
Okay, go ahead.
You're right. It's a couple of them. It's as soon as they get like to the kitchen, there's a couple of yes. It's definitely a woman breathing. 100%.
I don't. For me, I don't know if it's a woman, but it doesn't sound like Michael. It just it just sounds like there's somebody just there breathing.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine that they would have rolled sound on this, because you don't need it. This would have been shot MOS. I mean, unless they rolled sound because they liked. I mean, it's possible that they could have brought the sound recordist in because they had the windows open, because they actually shot in that house. I think those shots are actually in that house, and maybe they had the windows open, so they were picking up some Foley and somebody. Maybe it's the sound recordist. I mean, I doubt it, but I'm just saying. I would imagine those would have been shot MOS without sound. So I don't, is that intentional? What does that mean? Unless it's left over. No, hang on. Unless it's left over from the previous ending where Laurie turns evil and it's supposed to be subtle Laurie breaths. I don't know. But I agree with those that say that, yeah, there's breathing there. I think there is, but it's not Michael Myers.
It was Judith. She never died.
Judith, she never died. Maybe It's fascinating, though. It's really interesting. Anyways, folks, that was Halloween Ends.
I never have to watch this movie again.
Comment below and let Tony and I know what you think of Halloween Ends.
Honestly, I probably should have watched it with you for the first time because I enjoyed watching it with you and with everyone else more than watching it by myself. I don't know if I would have the same emotions.
Right.
It's kind of like watching Chainsaw, the Leatherface movie that came out last year.
Right.
Not a great movie, but it was fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, this is just, it's not.
It's rough, man.
It's not. It is, you know, and people ask me like how I rank the franchise. Honestly, when I rank the franchise, it's the first 4 movies: Halloween, Halloween 4, Halloween 2, Halloween 3. Yeah. Anything else after that for me, I put it in order, not because it's the better of the films. I put it like, well, what would I watch next? You know what I mean? Like if I had to pick something to watch after the first 4, I probably would watch the 2018 film and then H2O and then Zombies or Kills, Rob Zombie's first one or Kills. You know what I mean? Like, so like, it's like, so when I say I would put Resurrection in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 above this film, I'm not saying it's the better movie. I'm saying, what would I watch beforehand? You know, does that make sense?
Yes.
I know people have a hard time understanding that. They're
well, no, it's like putting
it above, but I'm not, because anything after the first 4 films, I don't give a shit. I really don't. I have no desire to watch them. You know?
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it, man. I totally get it. Let's jump over to the Super Chats now, or to the Q&A, I should say. But there's a backlog of Super Chats I need to get to here. Yes. So let's do this, folks. Let's do it. That was Halloween Ends. All right. Mike, Years of Whining and H Ends. Okay, so I think Mentellect, I think I did get Years of Whining over Halloween Ends. Yes, I remember that. Mike McQuarter sends in $5, says, the cooks had the best ingredients and still screwed up the meal. Let's be honest, Halloween Kills pretty much told us they would screw up ends. Nah, not necessarily, but I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Logan DeCarey sends in $5, says, will admit I was let down by Michael being real in the film because I was questioning what was real and I like that. Your thoughts on that aspect? Well, he's definitely okay. I don't want to go off on a tangent about this, but I will just say that Michael has always been human. The Michael from the first movie, 1978. Okay,
this guy right here.
That's right. He's always been a human being, but there's a supernatural edge. Okay, John Carpenter will even tell you he is a man, but I created the character to have this element to him, this supernatural element, not like an element like Freddy or Jason where they're literally supernatural and zombies and demons and can just never die. Right. It's just he is a man because that's what makes it scary. That's why his mask is removed at the end of the film to remind you he's just a man. That's why when we see the mask come off at the beginning of the movie, oh, it's just a boy, or is it? Right? It's always about that dichotomy, the question that can never be answered. So he is a man. Now, how heavily you want to lean into that is entirely up to you. Obviously, in Halloween 78 and in 18, more in Kills than in 18, they lean more heavily into that supernatural element. But we have to remember that, well, he is a guy. So if we were to walk over to Michael, like even in 1978, in the Halloween 1978, if I was in that movie and I walked over to Michael and literally chopped off his head, he'd be dead. He'd be dead. The head wouldn't roll over back to his body and reattach. He would be dead. Michael would be dead because he's a man, right? So that's why in this film, I'm not saying it's totally why, but we see him bleed out, right? He's a man. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Thank you, Jesse Ventura. But it's true, right? And that's sort of kind of what they're going for there. So now how heavily you lean into that supernatural element, it's all about keeping you on your toes. It's all about like when Laurie sees him amongst the laundry sheets and she doesn't even turn her head and she's gone. Did she see him? Did she not? What? How is he there and then not there? How is he? It's that whatever that is. Oh, how is he able to take 6 shots and get up and walk away? How did he do that? Whatever that is, that's what keeps the character going, right? Yeah. But in this movie, of course, because they're bringing things to a close, they have to lean more heavily into winding things down. I wouldn't have told the story in the way that they did. Neither would have Tony. But so it didn't really bother me, I guess I should say. I just didn't like how they utilized the character. Tony, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said enough at the beginning. I don't
That's
want
true.
to, repeat it. But
Fair
basically, like it's like I said online today too. Hold on, because he's a big fan of ours. He's been a good supporter for both of us. Hey, give me a second here. It's
No problem.
far down. There it is. Patrick Joseph. He sent in, I think in super chats at times.
Yep.
I said to him, if there's a silver lining to this movie that I can at least take away on the positive side is I didn't spend any money on it. I'm not going to spend any money on it. So at the end of the day, like, how angry can I be with it? I don't like the movie. I don't like the movie. There you go. No one can force me to buy it. No one can force me to, you know what I'm saying? So
it's art.
At the end
some
of the
people are
day,
going to like it. Some people won't.
Exactly. A lot of people still don't like Season of the Witch. I fucking love it. It's in my top 4. I watch it every October. And I get it. I get why people don't like it still.
Yeah.
And I think this movie, I can see 20 years from now, this movie probably maybe turning into a Season of the Witch type thing where it does grow an audience and a fan. Totally. I can totally see that happening.
Yeah, agreed.
Not to be all fucking Linda, but you know what I mean? Like,
totally.
Exactly. Right. I can see that happening. So yeah, I don't want to rehash it, but and just continue to shit on the movie because I know there are people who do like this film and I respect that they like this film and I don't want to keep dog shitting on it. So yeah, what do I lose? Nothing. I didn't spend any money on it. So there you go.
Yeah, no, I get you.
And you didn't spend anything on it because I hooked you up with Peacock.
Well, no, I actually did spend money to see it at the theater on Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's right.
I did see it at the theater on Friday. All right. Gary sends in $5, says Blumhouse made a film called Freaky last year with Vince Vaughn. Yep, I remember that. And a teen girl, they switched bodies. Yeah, it was like Freaky Friday. It was like Halloween Ends. What the hell agenda do they have? I wouldn't say Freaky is like Halloween Ends. I think Freaky is more like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan, or the original. I think there's an original Freaky Friday too, I think. I would think I would make more of that comparison. But I get what you're saying.
That's true, right, Brooke? This isn't a Halloween movie. At least Myers was still badass in Halloween 3. True. In the TV.
That's true.
He's still badass.
Shout out to Brooke. That is very true.
That is a good point.
Akeem Patterson sends in $4.99, says Ends is a good horror movie, but not a great Halloween film. If that makes sense. I don't like the way they treated Michael. No, it makes perfect sense, Akeem. That's what I said that about Halloween 18 when it came out. I said Halloween 18 is a really good modern day slasher, but not a very good Halloween movie. Well, I can certainly tell you now that 18 is a better Halloween movie than Ends is. So I do agree with that. I do agree with that very much. Nick Jenny sends in $9.99, says, I agree with what Cody Leach said.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question.
Yes,
Seriously.
Seriously.
We'll get,
all right.
Do you think, I was thinking about this, do you think the 2018 film was a lightning in the bottle fluke in that because there had been such a gap in the Halloween movies, and the fact that the last taste everyone had in their mouth was the Rob Zombies one, which we know you got those who like the first one, like myself. I really like the first one. The second one, no, it is dog shit, except for the opening hospital sequence. Right. I will defend that. I will defend that scene forever. It's well shot. Love it. Great Rob Zombie. But then after that, it sank faster than the Titanic.
Right.
Having said that, because that was the last Halloween movie we got, do you think that, like you just said, with regards to the 2018 film, that people will, as the further we move away from it, it's not going to age well because people will see it for what it is, that it's an okay slasher film. It's an all right Halloween movie. It's not a Halloween 4. I mean, in my opinion, again, my opinion only, the last really good sequel we got in this franchise was the 4th film. That felt like a Halloween movie. And that's, again, just my opinion. So do you think the further we get away from it, that the 2018 film is not going to age like a fine wine?
Yes, I think that's possible. I think it largely could be a generational thing too. Okay. I think that's true too, because us H4
is definitely a sentimental thing for our generation. That's what we grew up with.
For sure.
So yeah,
and
I get that.
I think, and I've preached this on this channel probably ad nauseum to folks, but I've been proven right in a lot of cases because I see people actually making the same thing that I kind of say. I think Halloween H2O is that too. When Halloween H2O came out, you and I were already 19. But for a lot of people,
we've been with this franchise for almost 10 years now. You know?
Even
time.
before that, for me, I think I was introduced to Halloween in like 85. You know, when there were only 2 Michael Myers movies. So for a lot of people though, there's a real nostalgic emotional attachment to Halloween H2O. For a lot of people, it was the first Halloween movie they ever saw, or it was the first Halloween movie they ever saw in the movie theater. It came out at the right time with Scream. I know what you did last summer. So I think it might be a generational thing. I think if people, if you were 17 and you saw Halloween 18 in the theater and you're kind of getting into the franchise, it will be your, H2O or 4 or, what have you. I don't think H18 is a bad movie at all. And I've never said that. There were just creative decisions that were made. I was like, I wanted to see more of this, whatever. But I think it's the best in this trilogy. I do.
Oh yeah, hands down, no question.
For sure.
No question.
I think for sure. So I think it might be a generational thing. I think how this trilogy will be seen down the road, I think it's still too early to tell. But I think I think that's a factor. Let's just say. I think it's a factor. Yeah. Nick Jetty 999 says, I agree with what Cody Leach said. He said the way Corey went out was terrible. He needed to show some humanity and maybe go out saving Allison or something like that for his arc to be complete. Well, actually,
I would have gone more dark side, Corey. He's
sure.
Gone. He's Anakin. He's lost. Done. He's not saving Padme.
It depends on what the end result is, right? If you want to pass the torch, yes. If you want to sort of, I don't know, have a redeeming moment and then maybe Michael sucks the energy that was given to Corey, he sucks it back into himself, almost like he needed Corey to because it's a younger body and he's younger, to fuel up the energy to, 100%. And then as he's about to snap his neck on the floor, he sucks that 100% back into himself and he's like fucking ready to go. Like maybe something like that or something. Sure. You could, I would have been okay if Corey had, redeemed, but I think that would have been strange too. I think that would have been strange because the trajectory that they were going was very clear. Because was Arnie and Christine redeemed? I don't think he was he?
No. And like I said, I would have gone. I didn't mean Anakin. I would have gone full Vader. Like he can't be redeemed. Right. He's gone. He's dark side. He's done. That's it. He's lost. To have him redeem him and save Allison, like,
right? No. Yeah, I think that's. I think the trajectory that you're on, you have to follow through. You either kill him or you make him the next one. I mean, that's kind of that's what now Bruce, who likes Halloween, he appreciates
your buddy Bruce,
my buddy Bruce, right? Yeah. He appreciates Halloween. He's not neck deep into it like us by any stretch of the imagination. He doesn't know all the nitty gritty details like we do. But he appreciates it. Certainly the first one for sure. And when we were watching the movie, he even said, I thought that's where they were going. Like, I thought they were going to commit and do that pass, because this is Michael Myers' last movie, and he was like, oh, they're not. Okay. All right. So,
partially did, but didn't land it. They partially were going there with it, but then they're like, no, we're not going to do that.
Because on page 92, they realized, oh yeah, we got to do the final battle.
Right. Oh yeah. We forgot about the guy. We need him.
Right.
Somebody call James.
That's
James,
right.
We need you. We forgot all about you, buddy.
Jeffrey M sends in $2 and says, how did you get your horror show job at YouTube? Well, this isn't a job. Jeffrey, we do this for free. Obviously, people send in super chats, and that puts a little bit of money towards the channel. But this is not our jobs. Tony is a photographer. I'm a voice actor. Those are our jobs. YouTube is just a fun hobby. So, we just started a YouTube channel. You can do that too, my man.
Anybody can do it nowadays.
Yeah. Sadly,
Dude, you know how many Halloween kills ends, whatever we're on right now, whatever movie just came out. You know how many reviews I've seen pop up on YouTube?
Oh, I know.
Jesus.
Oh,
like,
dude,
God,
do you remember,
damn.
dude, you and I, like you and me and Cody and Lee and the Wham guys.
We were the first.
We were the OGs,
originals,
man. The
right.
OGs.
We were the ones who started it.
when 18 was, and I'm talking not even in 18, I'm talking 2017. You know, I'm talking going back to like when they made the announcement. Actually, they made the announcement in 16, but you know, going back
that's when we started was in 16.
Yeah. Hardly anybody was doing this. Nobody was doing this. Nobody was doing it. And now all of a sudden I can't hit the refresher
Everybody's
without
on the
seeing
bandwagon.
like
5 or 6 new, like, damn, like how many reviews do we need of this movie? Like,
crazy. It's crazy, my man. Crazy. Let me see. Where are we here? Okay. Brooke Louie. Hey, Brooke Louie. Haven't seen Brooke Louie in a while.
That was the Brooke I was referring to who made the reference about,
Oh, okay, cool. I thought it was another Brooke. I think
not our other Brooke. Yeah, not our other Brooke.
Okay, all right.
But yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's Brooke Scarlett. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Brooke Louie sends in $9.99. Says, so they want us to believe Laurie was a total head case due to her friends being killed in
18.
H18, I guess. Yeah. But Michael eviscerates her daughter. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. And she's all good in 4 years, give or take. Thoughts? Okay, well, I've talked about this before on the channel, Brooke, and I think what it really comes down to is about Laurie's identity. So the reason why Laurie was obsessed for 40 years is because she thought it was personal. She thought Michael was after her, and it took over her life for 40 years, right? We can agree with that, right? Like that's what 18 was about, right? We're reintroduced to the character. It's been 40 years. Her life was ruined because of it. It ruined her relationships. She couldn't hold a job. She lives on the outskirts of town as the crazy lady. For 40 years, and she never got the mental help. This has been actually said, by Jamie Lee Curtis herself. Because it was the late 70s, early 80s, Jamie Lee Curtis has said that I imagine that she went through that whole shit and then went back to school on November 1st, and because in the late 70s, early 80s, the mental health kind of sort of world and getting help, not like it is today. It's still kind of, it's still hard today, but it was not like it was back then. So she believes, and David Gordon Green believes, and clearly they communicated this to the audience, she was nutso. She never got her help, sadly. Very, very, very sadly. And she always believed it was about her, that Michael was coming back. Now in Halloween Kills, Hawkins is the one that says, it was never about you, Laurie. Right. And that totally upheaved her entire world. She realized I don't know if in that moment, but certainly in that 4-year gap, she realized, oh my God, it was never about me. I've wasted my entire fucking life for nothing. He was never after me. What does that do to the psyche of somebody? How do you cope with that? How do you deal with that? Oh my God. Yes, Michael killed her daughter. Yes, absolutely, 100%. But I think Laurie started to get the help that she finally needed. And we are seeing a Laurie in Halloween Ends dealing with those residual effects. So she has gotten help. See, in 18, she hadn't gotten help. She hadn't seen a therapist ever in her life. She can't hold a job, can't hold a relationship, a marriage. Her kids fucking hate her. I mean, like, what is going on? Now it's a little different. She's not 100% better, but she's that like recovering alcoholic. It's like revisiting an alcoholic. Once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic, right? It's like revisiting somebody in recovery who's 4 years sober, but they're not like, they will always be going to therapy. They will always be, making choices in their lives to make sure that they don't fall back on that. So I think Laurie has finally got the help that she needs, and that's why it appears that she's been able to get over her daughter easier than her friends. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's where it's just the fact that she didn't have help before and now she does. Does that make sense?
Totally does. Totally. Jeez, that
totally
stuck with me. Well, I've said this on other videos that we've done Halloween topics. I said one of the best portrayals of Laurie in this franchise was portrayed by Scout Taylor Compton in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, because he did tackle what the psyche of what Laurie had to deal with, of, you know, this guy coming after her, killing her friends. And he tapped into that. She's seeing a therapist.
Right.
She's losing her fucking mind. Granted, the movie's, you know, surrounded just dog shit, but it's tackling that, like, how's Laurie fucking handling it? And that's the first and only time where we see Laurie still at that young age of 17, 18 years old, and what her life is like after dealing with the events of the first, you know, in this case, Rob Zombie's first Halloween.
Yeah.
So I did like that he went that direction with her character. He just gave us a dog shit movie. Right.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. Bobby Reeves sends in, well, a follower of Bobby Reeves sends in $1.99.
You missed.
I don't think I did. I think I haven't got to it yet. So hold tight. We'll see where we are in a couple of minutes, because I'm still reading the ones from like 2 hours ago. Bobby sends in $1.99, says, Tony, what's up, buddy? You too, Dave? Not much, Bobby. Mike McCorder sends in $2, says, Tony, love your passionate anger. I share it. Okay, now let me do a little refresh here and go back and see if I can get these other super chats. Okay. Here we are. Universe 7 Gaming sends in $10 and says, McRae, is it possible to make a Halloween movie look and feel like 78 or H2? Maybe if you used cameras and tech from that decade, it would be great if they could. Well, listen, production value has certainly improved over the years. Remember that 18 and 2 were shot on film, 35 millimeter film. The way that film is processed, the way that digital looks now, it's a very different world. I think look, is it possible? Sure. I mean, if they wanted to put in the creative effort to lean so heavily in on the aesthetic of making it look like an old movie, yeah, I'm sure they could do that. But I think the smart thing to do would be to just do what they did with the Halloween Flashback and Halloween Kills. And
that would have been perfect.
Yeah, the production value in terms of quality is modern, but the way that they craft their shots and the lighting and the old police car, they can make you believe that it's the same time period. So that's I think would be the more appropriate way to go, really, at the end of the day. Chris sends in $2 and says, in my opinion, in Kills, they should have electrocuted Michael and left him in a coma. Halloween ends, he wakes up and is no longer evil, and Laurie gets drawn in and gets in a love triangle with Hawkins and Michael and Corey. Hey man, that's one way you could go. What do you think of that, Tony? A love triangle between... I mean,
can't get any worse than what we got, you know?
That's true. Some people are calling this movie...
You're getting a little 90210. Who's Dylan going to be with this week, Kelly or Brenda?
There you go. Some people have even said that maybe it's Laurie and Corey, a Halloween love story.
Ooh. Corey going for the MILF?
Going for the GILF.
GILF?
The GILF.
Yeah, the GILF. GILF.
Or what's...
Hey, look.
Hang on.
I will give credit where credit is due. Give credit where credit is due. Jamie Lee Curtis looks great for her age. She looks phenomenal. Phenomenal. Yeah.
What's the great grandmother? The GILF?
Well, isn't that getting into like?
The great grandmother, the GILF.
Now you're sleeping with dead people. What's the
but I'm just saying that because it'd be great grandmother, so it'd be 2G, so it'd be GILF. GILF. And then if you keep going, the great grandmother, the GILF.
Mrs. Myers.
Mrs. Myers. There you go. Jared Barkley sends in $4.99, says, new subscriber here. Yes, that's what I like to hear. Welcome, Jared. Says, hey, I actually like the actor that plays Corey, and I like Andy who plays Allie. I really feel bad for both of them. Andy, you mean Andy Matichek, who plays Allison? Yeah, I guess what you're saying. I think we agree. Yeah, totally.
I agree. Totally agree.
100%.
But unfortunately, they weren't given. Unfortunately, this movie, we've said it several times tonight, if this movie stood on its own as its own stepping stone to a new anthology run and wasn't part of a trilogy, wasn't the conclusion, wasn't wrapping up Michael's story arc and and all that, Michael taken out of the equation, we said it a few times. The kid carries the role, or the movie, Corey.
Yep.
And he totally carries it. And
100%.
and, yeah, everything you just said, agreed.
Agreed. Movie Juice sends in a very generous super chat of $20. Thanks, buddy. And says, like it or not, Halloween as we know it has always been about a specific evil in Michael Myers. That's true. With the Gordon Green movies, they tried to make it all about Laurie. I gotta agree with you, Dave, just isn't Halloween. I don't think it's all about Laurie. I think obviously it leans heavily into Laurie, but what these three films are about, really at the end of the day, is because this I understand. I've talked about this on my own channel, right? I do understand when David Gordon Green and company say, we're writing this or we're changing that or we're doing this because we're trying to elevate it a little bit. Because if we don't do that, we're just making the same fucking movie over and over again. I understand that. But I think at the end of the day, you can do that, but still make them Halloween movies. You don't have to have them feel foreign or do something a little avant-garde. Like, you don't have to do that. You guys, listen, you do if you want. It's art. Knock yourselves out. It'll either land or it won't. But I think when, especially in this final chapter, the third act, it's very important that you deliver. Not just deliver on a fight, on a battle, but you deliver on the whole film. What it feels like, what it looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like. It's got to feel connected to the movies that came before. All that kind of stuff. This is a standalone film. I mean, it's not technically, but like I said, for all intents and purposes, it is. And I just think it was the wrong choice. So yes, it's about Laurie, but it really is about the themes of, our society and what happens to us when we let fear take over our rational thoughts and things like that. And mob mentality and misinformation and all that. Like, there's nothing wrong with social commentary in and of itself, but I feel, and I know that I'm not alone, but I know that people disagree with me. I feel that there were better ways to deliver those messages in these movies that doesn't necessarily feel disjointed and make the films feel foreign to each other because you're making sure that you're delivering this message. You can still make it a Halloween film and deliver that. So it's true. I don't mind the social commentary. I just think that in certain instances, not really in 18. 18 was about
the protesting though. The protesting, no, that shit's got to go.
Well, that's in Kills. That's in Kills. Yeah. But in 18 about generational trauma and the three ladies, I actually don't mind that. Like it didn't feel, it felt like subtext. It wasn't beating me over the head with it. But in Kills, it's like we pause the movie listen, I know they talk about in the bar, they talk about fear and how it affects people. But I just feel that when we go to the hospital and we have this Danny DeVito, to me, it feels like we've paused the momentum of the movie to deliver a message, and then we unpause to come back to the rest of the movie. It doesn't feel organic. It feels shoehorned in and only exists to deliver a message. The best social commentary and subtext is not so overt, basically, is what I'm saying. So, but to be fair, it's not the worst I've seen. Black Christmas 2019. I was just saying that. You know what I mean? I'll just say that. I think it's about a number of things. It's about a number of things. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Shit, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, no. I was talking about social commentary and the three movies and what
was the question?
The question was, they believe that the evil has always been in Myers with David it's always been about the evil in Myers. With Gordon Green's movies, they try to make it all about Laurie.
Yeah, if this were the first, well, no, because even in this film, she's not sidelined, but the movie doesn't really focus on her. It's focusing on Corey.
Right. It's Corey's story.
It's Corey's movie in this one. So I can't really say. Kills, she's pretty much in the hospital the whole time.
Yeah. Kills is like Michael's. is like a Hawkins movie almost.
Almost, and it's a Michael movie because what we got in Kills is what we should have got in this, you know, with Michael. Now I will say this: I know people don't like Kills, and Kills hasn't aged very well for me. I mean, I love the flashbacks, and I love Michael doing his business in that. You know what I mean? Like, there's I get no complaints when anytime Michael's on the screen doing his thing. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
In the 2018 film, I can see
it's Laurie's film.
It's Laurie's film, but it's also reintroducing us. You know, we've had a bit of, we've had a bit of a break from the franchise and a break from Laurie's story. So I can see it being focused in on her. Yeah, but that's it. I don't think this whole run was focused on her. Definitely wasn't.
No, I think 18 is her story. Kills is Myers and Hawkins. And I say Hawkins. Now, when I say that, I know he's only in the movie I know Will Patton is only in the movie very little and in the hospital, but the flashback is all about him. I mean, the story about how he accidentally shot the cop trying to shoot Myers and how he's kept it inside and nobody knows about, and the guilt that he's felt. And then I mean, all of that. And it's unfortunate that doesn't even get resolved in ends.
I know.
Like, does anybody know? Did he tell anybody? Is he still a cop?
It just seemed like Will Patton was like, "Hey, buddy, we need you to just come in, just here's some lines." That's it. That's it.
Yeah. It's too bad.
Oh God.
All right. Movie Chat and More Part 2 sends in £2 and says, "Come on, Dave. 5 is better than this." No. 5 is not a better movie than this. No, not at all. Now, again, depending on what you're measuring, right? Tony is just about to say, hey, listen, it's got Myers in it. It's got my girl, Jamie Lloyd. I'm going to watch.
Well, no,
I totally understand.
I would watch 5 before watching this. That's all. Yeah, I'm not saying it's better, but if I had to, if someone said you can only watch Halloween 5 or Halloween Ends, what are you watching? I'm watching Halloween 5.
Fair enough. And that makes perfect sense. But in terms of a movie, like just talking about a movie as a whole, no, I think Ends is a better film in terms of the story they're telling and things. I'm not saying I agree. I'm not saying I agree with how they handled Myers and the story. I'm just saying the story they're telling makes more sense. I don't like the story, but 5. No, I wouldn't say that. But again, it depends on what we're measuring, right? Like
what we're measuring.
Maybe 5 is better in this way, but it's not better in this way. Or maybe I'll watch 5 over this, but I won't watch 5. I don't know, right? Like, who knows? But
the reality of the scenario, I'm not watching either one of those two movies.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's the truth of the matter. Like I don't want to mislead you in thinking like, oh, Tony thinks Halloween 5 is no. I'm not gonna watch either one of those fucking films. Right. You know what I mean? And if I'm going to watch anything out of the first 4, like I said, it might be the 2018 film and probably H2O and Rob Zombie's first film. And that's it. And it's got to be a mood. Like I've got to basically be in the mood to watch, one of those 3 films that I mentioned. Otherwise, I ain't watching shit. In fact, truth be honestly, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just in this fucking groove with this movie. I watch Halloween 81, Halloween 2 at least 2 or 3 times a year. It's just a fun fucking movie. It's not my favorite, but I watch it the most, which is the weirdest thing. I don't know. There's just something like I've been vibing with that movie over the last few years a lot. And I'm getting ready to watch it again here probably tomorrow or maybe even later tonight. I don't know. Just I'm getting that itch to watch Halloween 2. It's a good fucking fun movie. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it is it has problems, obviously, but I will say that it is still, and listen, maybe this isn't really fair because it was only made 3 years after 1978. So in terms of the production value and the way it looks and all that, and you got Loomis, okay, sure. So it's probably not a fair fight, but I will say it is still to this day feels the most like the original Halloween than any other sequel they've ever made.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, but again, that's probably not a fair fight. Let me see. Matthew Farisi sends in $9.99, says, I still think there was potential to have them both running around killing. Could have really whipped the town into a frenzy with 2 killers, then have Michael kill Corey before fighting Laurie. That's interesting. That's an interesting take. I mean, obviously that would up your budget and up your your effects and more time, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm open to exploring that. What do you think? But I would have Corey in the Scarecrow mask and have Michael in his mask.
Exactly. And like I said, what my idea would have been is that he has the plasticky mask, maybe gets ruined, and he finds something that he can like almost like a really good scarecrow mask. Like I said, you can go on Etsy and just look up creepy scarecrow. They've got some phenomenal ones on there that like I've toyed with the idea of doing a photo shoot with because they're just so creepy looking that he finds it, because it is Halloween night. So, and he puts that on and that becomes his signature. I think they missed an opportunity with that.
Right.
They really did. I think that's the way I would have gone with it. I just, again, other than the nostalgia that I'm feeling inside when Corey's wearing the Myers mask, I'm not looking at him like Corey. I'm looking at him like Myers only for the simple fact of his physique in his body frame, because he looks like Michael in this photo. He looks like the original Myers that I love, that I will, who will always be my favorite, adaptation of the character. But the reality
that's an interesting thing that you actually had that, because if you had that feeling and it didn't bother you that Corey was in the mask, well then, that's a very interesting thing. Maybe Malick should start taking notes of this. Like, wait a minute, because for years, nobody can put on the fucking matter. But the story, it felt earned. Now, mind you, the way he got the mask, the bitch in the fight,
the way he got it, I thought maybe he should have gotten it at the end. Maybe he's not dead, and after Laurie does her thing, or maybe
he just steals it. He goes in, and the mask isn't on Michael. Right. Michael's taken off the mask for whatever reason. He's I don't know, he's having a shower, he's taking a shit. I don't know. And he's in the cave and
eating his Taco Bell.
He's eating his Taco Bell. He's eating his rat. But Corey sees the mask and quickly takes it. Right? Maybe it's just something like that. All I'm saying is that the story of Corey was good enough, and we were invested into his story enough that even I say that when he's walking around as Myers, I'm like, okay, I'm weirdly okay with this. Why is that? Because it's not a Sartain moment. It's not like, what the fuck is happening here? And maybe, think about that. If I felt that way, you felt that way, maybe some people in the chat room felt that. Look, there's no doubt that there's people, and in principle, I agree. The only person who should ever wear the Myers mask is Michael Myers.
Exactly, I agree.
100%. 100%.
My main argument to it is more of like, I wish they would have gone with an actor with more that physique to play Michael in these three films. That's really all I'm saying. It's not saying that I want Corey to be the next Michael. No, I'm saying I wish that was the Myers that we got as far as like the size and everything in these last three films. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. No, I get it. But I don't know. It's an interesting experiment, and I wonder if he'll take notice. I wonder what Malick is going to do.
Well, what would you do? Where do you go from this? Do you retcon 4 or 5 and bring Danielle Harris and Ellie back and pick up from there? I know people are championing for that right now.
The very first thing I would do, now that I've seen Halloween Ends, if I was an outsider, I am an outsider, but I'm saying like we are outsiders. I am an outsider. But if I was somebody like hypothetically, if Malick was like, Dave, what do you think we should do?
What would you do? Right.
Like, what do you think you should do? I would literally say, well,
and he says to you, it has to involve Michael. What would you do?
Has to involve Michael.
It has to. They want to redeem the character. They want to bring it back. What would you do? It is a good question. Obviously the easy road. The easy road is retconning 5. I get that's the easy road, but I think there's a bit more creativity. That again, there's the idea I pitched that you could do a period piece and make it 1978 and do a middle chapter to what happens.
Yeah, it's the selling of it. It's the selling to the general movie going audiences because of how confused they'll be. But it depends on how quickly you do it. Listen, Danielle Harris is what? What is she? She's a couple of years older than us. She's 40. We're 43. She's what? 45, 46. If Danielle doesn't mind waiting until she's 55, because I maybe not that late, but I think you need some breathing room. Because listen, hardcore Halloween fans will be able to pick up on what's happening, but these movies don't make, $150 million at the box office just from Halloween fans, right? They make them from general movie-going audiences. That's generally who the movies are targeted towards, or marketed towards, I should say. Because we Halloween fans are going to be there no matter what. They could never drop a trailer at all and we'd be there. Where? What time? What time's playing? Great. It doesn't matter, but they need to get other people into the seats. And I think just rebooting it like next year, okay, next year we're doing a direct sequel to Halloween 4. It's going to be a theatrical release. Do you know how many fucking confused people there'll be? Like, how do you market that so quickly and so soon? I'm not saying it's not possible.
Yeah, she's got to, if Danielle wants her turn at this, she's going to have to wait.
A bit. Let some breathing room go by. Let this marinate. So we're not sort of falling on top of each other. So the Michael thing, I would probably say we might need to wait. But, I look at this thing we've been talking about, this whole story here, and I would say to Malik, I'd say, listen, as divisive as Halloween Ends is, you've got something here. Sure. This is an anthology film. And maybe we should look at this as a series. Of course, we can't tell this story now because we told it here. But when I was watching this movie, there's so many moments where it looks episodic. It feels like I'm watching a show on Netflix, the way it's lit outside, and Allison and Laurie is there, and this story with this guy named Corey. And I'm just like, this is compelling. Again, maybe that's too strong of a word, but I'm locked in. I'm invested. And maybe we tell stories, anthology films that are not Season of the Witch, but are in the Haddonfield universe. So you can, what's Jamie Lee Curtis doing? Maybe we sign her. Jamie, you want to play her again? You want to play her again?
No, I don't want to see Jamie Lee Curtis in another Halloween movie forever.
Not a Halloween movie. Not a Halloween movie, not that. She just reprises her role. She's on the peripheral, but she makes appearances. Maybe we follow Andy Matichuk. Maybe it's about Allison, or maybe, I'm not saying we do that. I'm just saying that I'm surprised at how much I liked the story that had nothing to do with Myers. And because there's so many people, no, you could never do that. Myers isn't this. Myers. Do you know how many fucking Halloween fans have come out and said they actually kind of like the Corey story? What a shock. Right? And if you had asked them, okay, so the whole movie is going to be about this guy, Corey, and Myers is hardly going to be in it. We'd all be like, fuck off, that shit. Well, watching the movie, you're like, fuck, the movie was good until Myers got in it. So that's why I'm sitting there, I'm thinking to myself, maybe there is something here. It's got to be noodled, massaged, fleshed out, but maybe there's an opportunity for a series with Andy Matichak. Maybe there's an opportunity to, do Season of the Witch now and something. Maybe you bring Season of the Witch into the Haddonfield universe.
I still like our idea of 1950s Halloween and making the story about Judith and letting her be the final girl for like 3 movies, because it's never been done. Judith's character has been nothing but a footnote in that first film, and you know what I'm saying? So like, there's so much to explore with that character that if you've made her the final girl in a 3 series, there's and especially filling it in black and white, there's so much you can do.
No, there's lots you could do. There's lots, and absolutely, Michael is always on the table, but I would be cautious right now because we've just finished with him. And I think
because I know she's championing for it. I hear the things online that she's doing. Yeah,
but I don't like her idea either.
I know.
So I don't like her idea at all. So the last thing I want to see is a Jamie Lloyd where Halloween 5 is canon. I don't want to see that. Yeah. But again, I'm not saying it would work, but man, if you have, and again, there's a couple of ways you could go. If you have like a series called Haddonfield, every episode could either be different stories or it can be one continuous story. Like, I don't know, what other show? I don't know. Like, what's that Superman show? The one that was about Smallville, right? How fucking successful was that? And I never watched it because I'm not real, but that was a huge show, right?
Big hit,
yep. Right? So same kind of thing. Now, again, it's not about Myers, and you could go, no, it's got to be about Myers. Does it? I don't know. There's a lot of fucking people that agree with me that this Corey story was pretty fucking good until Myers showed up. Now, again, that's just the way the story was laid out and the way they told the story. But that's proof right there that, Now, obviously, you also have Laurie and you have Allison, so there's that connection. That helps. But maybe you bring them back. Hey, you guys want to do a series? Maybe it's a limited series, 8 episodes. And then it fucking takes off. It's amazing because it appeals not just to Halloween fans, but to everybody. And weird and fucking crazy shit starts to go down in Haddonfield, right? Laurie is maybe not at the center of it, but she's there. She's there. I don't know. Give it
kind of a Stranger Things-esque vibe, minus the some of the stuff that Stranger Things has gone into.
Yeah, I wouldn't go too over the top. But I'm just saying that I'm not saying it would work. And I'm not saying it's the right move to make, but I think ironically, because of this fucking movie, it's more possible now than I think it's ever been. And
maybe that's what Malik was trying to do. Maybe Malik looked at this and said, you know what, we're trying to go into a different direction. And maybe that's the plan.
Maybe. But what do I think he's probably going to do? I think he's probably going to do Season of the Witch. I don't see him doing anything more with Laurie or Allison or anything like that. I think he's going to take a sidestep.
I don't think he's not going to bring Danielle back to Retcon 5 or anything. I don't see that. I'd be shocked. I would be shocked.
I'd be stunned. I'd be stunned if they did.
Then again, anything can happen, right?
But you never know. I mean, listen, he might get a pitch from Paramount or A24 or Lionsgate that is an offer he can't refuse. He's like, that sounds fucking amazing. And away you go. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Yeah. All right, we got to get through these here. Let's see here. Jet Venin, or Venyan says, sends in $5. Thank you, Jet. And says, did you notice Myers' incredible rock carving skills on the wall in the sewer? Yeah. Did you see the little face that was on the rock there? It's kind of, I wonder. It's kind of strange.
He was bored. He's passing time,
He's
passing
time.
He was hanging out during COVID. He couldn't go out, couldn't do anything.
That's it. That's true. That's true. Keys sends in £2 and says, when Halloween 5 is better than Ends. But I get what you're saying. Lewis from Nerd Report sends in $5 and says, why didn't Hawkins tell Laurie about Corey's past? And how did she not know?
They didn't write it in the script.
Okay, I've only seen the movie twice. Oh, well, 3 times now. But again, on the show here, we're doing commentary. Was it clear that Laurie was unaware of Corey's past? Is that clear?
No, I think when she was at the mother's house, I thought her and the mom were having a conversation that she knew what had happened.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that Laurie didn't know what happened to Corey on Halloween 2019.
Because she drove by the house when Corey was being put into the ambulance or the police car.
Right. Good catch. Yes, that's true. So I think she knew. I think everybody in Haddonfield knows. That's why he was bullied. And that's why he was looked at as this outsider, right? Because they needed another boogeyman to put all their anger on because Michael was not there.
Well, here's the other thing regarding what would you do next? It's my impression that in the 80s, when they made Season of the Witch, John Carpenter had a bunch of ideas for Halloween type movies to take place in different towns with similar vibes and feels to what he did in the original film, having just a different boogeyman in different areas. Why doesn't anyone talk to him and find out what these stories are? What was his ideas? What were the stories that he wanted to do? Because it's my understanding that's what he wanted to do, right? He wanted to have like a Halloween movie every year, but taking place somewhere else.
I don't know if it was that specific. It could have been.
I'm more or less paraphrasing.
Yeah. No, but you're right. The idea was to move away from the Michael Myers story and go the anthology route, not setting because
what are the stories? Maybe
I don't know. But
give him a chance to direct again. You never know.
I don't think he wants to direct. But maybe. I
don't blame him.
Maybe. Yeah, I know. But to your point. There's, as I mentioned at the top of the show, there's several different ways you can do anthology, right? You could do anthology that is like, Season of the Witch, which is, it's a Halloween movie, but it's not related to the other Halloween movie. It's not even the same universe. Or you can do an anthology film, which is like Rogue One, where it's connected. So I have a feeling they're going to do Season of the Witch. I don't know if it's going to be a sequel or a remake, but I think because it already has a built-in fan base, that it's the logical choice. You know, maybe you'll get like a mini series on Prime or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But then again, I just recently saw an interview with Malik at the world premiere of Halloween Ends where he said horror is supposed to be on the big screen. Horror is meant to be seen on the big screen, which I agree. So I'm like, oh, okay. But then again, if an offer comes up, money, that he can't refuse, you know, famous last words, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let me see. Oh, where are we here? Oh, did I miss?
I think you missed a few.
No, I did. I know that's when I get word. Edward Nito sends in $5 and says, great Macho Man impression, Dave.
Oh, yeah. I'm about to rip you apart in a little bit of the cream, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Dave Kincaid sends in a very generous super chat of $49.99. Thank you, Dave. Really appreciate that. And says, thanks, D&T, for all the great content these past few years. True ambassadors to the legacy. I feel as though watching this Halloween trilogy come to a close is like a birthday milestone for you guys. All the best. Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't a better birthday, but...
Exactly.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Hey, listen, if you guys weren't here tuning in each and every week, we wouldn't be doing this. We would just have a Zoom call amongst ourselves. Right. We wouldn't go online.
And, you know, after we get through the October months, you know, obviously we hope you come back, you know, because we got some good ideas for some videos for next month that we've been, you know, some videos that we're going to do. And, you know, the horror genre, there's so much out there. I mean, my God, I started getting into collecting 1950s, 60s, and 40s, you know, old black and white VHS this year, like old, like just, you know, picking up lots of just different movies that I've never even heard of. And I think as the new year approaches, I'm definitely going to pitch some ideas to Dave to even get into some of the, you know, not just Night of the Living Dead, but just other, you know, classic horror movies.
Be great.
We can get into beyond, because there's so much. I mean, I get it. Halloween is Halloween, and that's the bread and butter. But there's so much to this genre that, you know, we just hope you guys stick around to
for
come back.
For sure, yeah. I mean, come back. Like, look. I know I'm a Halloween channel, but you know, I've you know, there's other things we can talk about too. So stick around, come back. You know, hang out. Let's talk shop. You know. Okay. That guy sends in $4.99 says, did anyone else think Michael was on the back of the motorcycle with Corey the first time watching this scene? I didn't, but I've seen the memes.
I've seen the meme.
And it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Tell you what, the memes have been pretty epic since this movie has come out. The one with Loomis that I shared the other day is great.
That is good. That is a good one too.
It's someone's got a picture of Loomis. It looks like he's flipping the bird, and it says
it's funny.
Something. Someone captured a photo for us, a leaked picture of Donald Pleasance in heaven after seeing Halloween Ends. That was good. That was probably my favorite so far.
It's good stuff. Pumpkinhead sends in $5 and says, independently of how the movie turned out, nothing beats watching a movie with family, friends, popcorn, and the movie, like Hawkins buying steak. Look, agreed. You know, it's too bad that some of us didn't like the movie better than we did, but you're right. When the lights go down, you're in that theater, you got the popcorn, whatever the case is, and you know, you're ready to watch a horror movie. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, my goal isn't to sit here and be like, I don't want to ever buy a Halloween movie that I see for the first time. That's not the goal. I want to buy it. I want to add it to the collection. But I just don't see the value in purchasing a movie that I know I'm not going to watch. And look, and I understand there's collectors out there who need to complete the set. I get that. I'm not that person. I'm not a completist. I can live without it. But I did make the bet. I told people on the show with Dave that if I didn't like it to what I thought it would be or whatever I said that night, I would buy Halloween.
You did, and you came through.
And I came through. I man of my word, I did it, but I'm not happy about
I said that if I absolutely hated the movie, I would give every one of my subscribers $5,000, and I'd rob a few banks and get all the money. But unfortunately, folks, I actually like it and hate it. So it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Can you imagine making that kind of bet?
You
Sweet
know what
tea.
it feels like? It feels like you're coming to an end in a bad relationship that you've been in for the last like 7 or 8 years. That's what it feels like.
I don't know
movie,
about.
the
Well,
Halloween.
yeah, I get it. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Sweet Tea sends in $10 and says, "I'm going to tell you, I did not like the movie they made. Excuse me, I didn't like the movie. They made Michael look so weak. David Gordon Green should be ashamed of himself. And for the channel, be safe too. Yeah, thank you very much, Sweet Tea. The tea is sweet tonight. God, what's going to happen if I forget to do that? It's going to happen.
Right.
It'll be, all cats and dogs will be raining down on us. No, we agree. We agree. It's not something that I ever want to see, is Michael getting his ass kicked by a fucking kid. I mean, not like a little kid, but yeah, I don't want to see that. Dan of Earth sends in $5. Thank you, Dan. Says, Dave, you just screamed at the exact moment the Ducks scored on my Rangers. Oh, really? That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Who? What? Oh, the Ducks scored on the Rangers.
The Anaheim Ducks. Yeah,
Ducks are playing they're playing the Rangers tonight.
The New York Rangers. Sorry. Well, I'm sorry about that.
All right, hockey is back in full effect.
Hockey is back. Let's go Buffalo. Fucking shitty. Fucking shit. That's right, folks. I'm Canadian in Toronto, but my favorite team is Buffalo.
Don't even get me started on shitty shit, man. Florida State, college football. Oh my God. The last 3 weeks have been rough for me. So not only do I get a bad Halloween movie, I get Florida State losing to like Clemson this weekend, and I hate Clemson. Like I get it. I live an hour from Clemson, so it's like I'm surrounded by Clemson fans, and I just like it's just like, so I get your pain with being a Sabres fan. Like just the last few years for Florida State football has been rough.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
So,
all right, let's see if we can get through these last ones fairly quickly, hopefully. Dan of Earth follows up with $10. Thank you. Says the most illuminating thing to me about this whole thing is that there are Halloween fans and specifically Michael Myers fans. The latter are the ones that mostly seem to hate it. I prefer the OG intent. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. I haven't really thought about that. I just know that there are a lot of fans that feel that will use overused cliches like "you're not a real fan if." No, we're all real fans. We just have different levels of standards. So my standards might be higher than yours. That doesn't mean you're less of a fan than me or less of a fan than Tony. It just means that we're different fans and we like different things about the things that we like. That's all it means. So, if anybody ever says, "Well, you're not a real fan if," go tell them to go fuck themselves. Seriously. Like that's just stupid. And it's just different levels of standards, and also it could be a generational thing, right? Tony and I grew up through the 80s. We like different things. There are people that watch Halloween and think it's a boring dog. There are people that watch Halloween and think it's the most boring, dated dog piece of shit movie of all time. And although I can be like, yeah, it's clearly, it's dated. I love it. Love it to this day. I think it's fantastic, right? I mean, it's just, you're not a real fan unless you like it this way. Go fuck
I'm going to mute you and turn
yourself.
the camera off. I have an agent who's got an emergency that needs me to do some pictures tomorrow, and she's texting me. So let me put you guys on mute, and I'll be right.
Yep, sounds good, buddy. Sounds good. So yeah, don't worry about that kind of stuff. But yeah, there are toxic fans out there that believe that if you don't like it or hate it this way, well, then you're not being genuine. It's like I don't understand what that is. It's like, what are we, 5? I don't have time for that. God, the internet and YouTube and social media is a wonderful thing. But some of these people are lucky we're not in the playground, because I'd punch them in the fucking face. I know that's not very nice to say, but man, the internet has made it really easy for people to say shitty things and not reap the repercussions of it. God. Let me see here. So yeah, I hear what you're saying, but that stuff, that's well, actually you were talking about something a bit different, but I kind of turned it into sort of how fans kind of fight with each other and things like that. You might be true. I mean, you may be right, I should say. If we were to actually take a poll or do some sort of measuring on that and get a consensus, you actually might be on the ball there. Who knows? I have no idea. Where Nomad has gone before sends in $2, says, this film reminded me of My Bodyguard. I can see those parallels a little bit, but I don't think I would say that fully. Another $2 says, I sent you a pic of Michael on a bike. Feel free to show. Okay. Well, I can't have a look at it right now because I'm right in the middle of the show, but I will make sure to go and check it out. Movie Juice sends in a very generous super chat of $20 and says, this being my second watch here tonight with you guys, and I just figured out my favorite parts of the movie are the copycat kills with Corey as Michael. Really did give me OG vibes. The copycat angle could have worked. Hey, Tony would agree with you. I don't know if he would agree with you about the copycat angle, but he would agree with you about when Corey begins to kill, there's really OG vibes. And I can certainly see that 100%. So, it's funny what some people are sort of actually admitting that, you know what, I kind of like this. That's actually not bad. I hear you, man. I hear you. And thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. That guy sends in $4.99, says, I think Michael was trying to transfer the evil to Laurie in this scene. Yes, I would say that that's probably true. I think that because we've already seen that happen and there's a running theme in the film, I would say that that's probably true. Cody Snyder sends in $2 and says, so are we watching the original on the 31st? Was that next week or the week after?
We got a fun little thing we're going to do for you guys for that one, actually. Because next week we're doing...
Right. Yes.
We're doing Halloween 6, the producer's cut next week. And then I pitched an idea to Dave because I thought it would be fun because Halloween is on a Monday this year. And Dave, I think you're going to do it on your channel. I don't know how that works, but Dave's going to put a poll up for you guys to vote what Halloween movie we're going to watch on Halloween night. Now, the movies that will be excluded from the poll will be the 2018 film, because we just watched that, Kills, and Halloween 6, because we will just watch those. But everything else is fair play. Everything else is fair game, and you guys will get to be able to vote and make the decision on what Dave and I will watch. Dave and I secretly have a bet on which movie's going to win, but we'll see how that turns out.
Okay, folks, as much as I appreciate all the super chats, stop with the super chats right now because we got to get kind of rolling through the rest of this stream here.
Good. My next shoot isn't until Wednesday, so I
have a few things I got to do. Well, because we've already hit 3.5 hours. So I've got to not only go pee, but I got some things I have to prep for tomorrow. So, but I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Unless you want to send in a super chat that's just like a super chat or just like a here's some money or whatever, okay, fine. But don't send any more questions. Okay. I love you guys, but we're 3.5 hours and we got to get rolling here. You guys are amazing. That guy, Cody Snyder, got that one. Edward Nito sends in $5 and says, it's almost like Michael was Freddy and Corey was Jason. I found someone who will make them remember. Quote, I found someone who will make them remember. I remember him saying that. I didn't really get that, but I kind of see what you're saying. Movie Juice sends in $2, says, hey guys, think you missed my super chats. That would have been probably from earlier, right? Because I did get all of them now. Yeah, I've got them all now. You had just sent that in because of where it sort of falls in the order. That guy sends in $4.99. Oh, no, wait. Dusty Rose sends in $5 and says, hey, D&T, have you guys ever thought about what a Halloween movie would be like in 3D? Also, do you think there will be a Halloween 45 convention next year? Halloween movie in 3D, I'm going to say no.
Negative.
Halloween 45 convention, as far as I know, yes. Sean Clark, I believe, is working on it, or he's involved with it.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that Sean's thing?
Yeah, it will probably be in Pasadena next year, although I don't know. But by all accounts, I believe there will be.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if there weren't.
Yeah,
if there wasn't something
for sure.
Yeah.
Howard D sends in $2 and says, graffiti under the overpass says, "Love lives today." I didn't notice that. Wasn't that in Halloween Kills too?
I think so.
I think it was. I didn't notice that. That's a nice touch, nice detail. Dan of Earth sends in $4.99 and says they should do an anthology movie about Charlie Bowles from Russellville. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. 100%. I agree.
Charlie Bowles from Russellville and the rise of Ted Hollister.
That's
He
it.
Did not die.
The rise of Ted Hollister.
The rise of Ted Hollister.
rise of Ted
Seeking
Hollister.
His vengeance.
That'd be amazing. David Lee Barron sends in $1.99, excuse me, and says, whew, I've been talking a lot. So what was supposed to be the COVID angle in this movie? I don't think it, I don't think there was,
I didn't
I don't
feel
know.
any COVID angle.
I don't know.
Definitely not like the way I thought it was going to be.
No, and I think that was probably, it probably was something that was taken out of context and made much bigger than it really was.
Yeah, definitely was.
Maybe somebody said,
even
Corey,
I took it out of context.
I know what the problem was. Somebody said the Corey angle and they heard the COVID angle. I bet that Corey was going to be heavily involved in this movie, and somebody with bad hearing thought they said COVID. Actually, you never know. That actually might have how it got started.
Right.
Robert Kitzmiller sends in $5, says, does this trilogy in any way help or hurt your expectations for the upcoming Exorcist trilogy? Great stream. Thank you, Robert. Well, it makes me a little worried. Yeah, I guess. Makes me a little worried, but I don't know.
I have higher expectations for Florida State beating Alabama on a Saturday night than I do The Exorcist being good. And yeah, we all know what would happen if Florida State played Alabama right now. So
there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
LBZ sends in $4.99, says, just finished watching Halloween Ends for the second time. Second time around was a little better than the first, but I'm still disappointed. Yeah, I think that's sort of a common thing that happens because you know what to expect. You're seeing, you're seeing a little more of the details, and so you kind of settle in now. And yeah, that's not uncommon. That can happen. Jonathan M sends in $5 and says, I'm still hoping there's some crazy lore I didn't understand that can make it better for me. Radio Tower, perhaps? What the hell was that about? Well, is there a Halloween Ends novelization? I mean, even though I always say that the novels are not officially canon. They're usually written after the fact or shortly before the movie comes out. They're based on, listen, if the Halloween 1978 novel was canon, you'd have Michael Myers running around in a weird mask with blue eyeshadow and red lipstick. Seriously. That is what he looks like in the Halloween novel. So novels are novels, movies are movies. But if there is a Halloween Ends novel, maybe there's something in there that can explain something to help give you more context. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fast Forwards 289 sends in $9.99. Thank you, buddy. Says, what's up, DNT? I can't help but hate this movie after seeing it twice. It's not a Halloween movie, and seeing Michael being handled the way he was absolutely despicable and disrespectful. Agreed. Yeah, no, I would not have done that. I didn't like seeing that, and obviously we're not alone in that, for sure. And then Fast Forwards follows up with another $4.99, says, I also don't like, how Michael looked at Corey as he was choking that girl against the wall, as if to say, hey, Corey, did you get that? Just strange. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like, there's that acknowledgement, like, we're a team now, right?
Are you paying attention? This is how you do it.
Yes. Like an are you paying attention sort of thing. Like it's that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I understand.
I just can't even believe we're uttering, like, I can't even believe we're saying that. And that's what's being depicted in a Halloween movie.
I know. It's
I just sit there and I think about the original film and everything that happened. I'm like, and we got to this, like, okay.
I know. It's really disappointing in a lot of ways. It is. All right. I think we've got all the super chats. My apologies for not being able to get to some non-super chat ones, but obviously with streams like this, Halloween Ends weekend.
Fast Forwards. I think he sent a couple. I think he said one more.
Oh, he said one more?
$9.99. Last one from me. Just wanted to say it's been great.
Oh,
fun
I didn't
ride
get that.
through all of this with you. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there you go. So you got it?
No, you got it.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Last one for me. Just wanted to say it's been a great fun ride through all this with y'all. Look forward to many more things with y'all. Keep up the great work. Take care. Thanks, buddy. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, look, we wouldn't be doing this show if it wasn't for you guys. If nobody was watching, why would we be online. We would, or be on YouTube. We would just pick up the phone and call each other or do a Zoom chat. So we're here talking about this because of you guys and because of how we've built up the channel and the community. And, we think you guys are amazing. You're awesome. Like, sincerely.
It's why me and my friends create the photos for you. We're not getting paid to do that stuff. We have fun doing it because we know you guys appreciate the payoff results that we create in the photographs for you. And,
right.
I appreciate a lot of you who have started to come over on Facebook and following me. And it's exactly what I wanted. It's a good community. It's good people. I try to interact with as many of you. I don't DM. I know some of you message like in the comment section. I ask my girl, she'll freaking tell you, man. I drive her bonkers with that. I rather voice, but I'm not going to sit there and voice people all day. That's not going to happen. I got work to do. So, but if you leave a comment, I'm going to probably respond as best I can. That's the best I can say when it comes to that. But everyone, for the most part, has been pretty cool. Very chill. No craziness, no stupid, no nuts, no fighting, and that's what I
good. I'm
wanted.
Glad to hear that.
That's what I wanted the platform to be, just a place for everybody. They can have their own opinion, but just, no dumb shit. And, unfortunately you got more people than I do. So you got to deal with dumb shit.
There's a lot of dumb shit. There's a lot of dumb shit, but also too, a reminder to those who send me messages and things like that. I try to read them all. I get a lot of messages. That's not hyperbole. I mean, it's not like I get thousands, but I get, on average, probably 15 a day, from people just saying hey man, what's up? Love your channel, to long things of stuff so just know that I do my best to try and read everything, but it's not possible for me to respond to everything. If you want to improve your chances of me responding, just try and keep it short and sweet. But with all due respect, I love you guys. I love the passion, but I don't have time to read long, passionate things about, whatever it is and respond and give you a proper response, because I'd feel bad. I mean, I don't you've spent all this time writing this whole thing and then I'm going to respond with, yep. I feel the need to sit and respond appropriately, but I just don't have the time to do it.
Or I'm in the middle doing a house for a client, and I'm getting a DM and I'm like, I'm working, you know what I mean? I can't I can't just stop and do, I gotta work, and that takes, priorities. And I'm not a big, hand to God, I'm not he's not lying, folks. I'll text Dave and I'll hear from him 5 days later. That's not even a joke. That's serious. But I know he's busy. I know he's going to get to me,
for sure.
But he's got shit to do. I got shit to do. I don't need him to respond to me unless it's something like the Buffalo thing, because that threw me through a loop. I was like, wait, who the fuck is signing in from Buffalo? I was I had thoughts for a second. I was like, wait a second here.
I thought about going, no. And then leaving it for a minute and then going, nah, I'm just kidding. That's funny.
Dude, but for a second, I'm like, man, did someone hack my account? Because I was like, what the hell? I'm getting a sign in from Buffalo.
I know.
I expect Canada, but I was like, not
well,
Buffalo.
no, it's because for
I
those,
get it.
Yeah. But for those that may not know what we're talking about, it's because obviously I live in Toronto, Canada, and Peacock is not available here. So I had to get a VPN, and Tony was kind enough to give me his Peacock login information, and I chose Buffalo as sort of my base. So when he got the login, he was like, Buffalo?
I did. I was like, I thought someone hacked my account, and I'm like, oh my God, information's on there, and I'm like, I'm fucked.
That's funny stuff. That's funny stuff. All right, folks, that is gonna do it for Tony and I here on this epic watch along of Halloween.
Come back next week, Halloween 6 producer's cut.
Come back next week, folks. Thank you to our great moderators, Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber, Cody Snyder, Andrew Stevens. You guys are amazing. Thank you for tuning in and listening to our rants and our thoughts and watching along with us. Comment below and let Tony and I know your thoughts on Halloween Ends. Start the discussion in the comment section below. Keep it civil, but have fun. We're all Halloween fans. Tony, any last thing you want to say?
No, this was good. Had fun. We'll see you guys next week.
All righty. Look at all those Halloween fans in the chat. All right, folks, we'll talk to you soon. In the meantime and in between time, cheers.